Uh, Alright, everybody, welcome back to Odyssey of the Dragonlords. In the last session, the party comprised of Derek, Drakgar, Juno, Porunga, Exandri, and Metius. They have all been doing, well, quite a bit of stuff around the city of Mitros, having, well, participated in the clearing out of the foul water brought about by Siren, Lord of Storms. The party then took to the streets of Mitros to investigate the, well, various happenings that they keep hearing about. Happenings involving, well, the influence of a local crime lord known as the Lady of Coins. No other known alias is known about her, except for the fact that she has her hand in apparently all sorts of this dirty business happening in across the city of Mitros. Party thought to themselves that they would look into matters, eventually coming across, well, a statue in the middle of the street that they believe was brought about precisely because of these activities. Upon petrifying the woman, she revealed that, well, she indeed was working with the Lady of Coins as part of her for fulfilling an end of a bargain involving money lending in the likes of which she was unable to repay. However, she repaid it a different way by luring an unsuspecting Goliath into the clutches of the Lady of Coins lackeys. Who this Goliath person might be, well, party doesn't quite know yet, though they have their suspicions. Alongside this investigation on the Lady of Coins, the party took to investigating disappearances that have apparently been happening around the streets of Stygian Rome. Disappearances that seem to be mostly affecting people who will not be missed. Drug addicts, homeless, people who have little in the way of actually being tracked down. And alongside these disappearances, according to a man known as Callister, a worker in the local brothel, he says that he sworn he saw some figures in black robes next to these disappearances. These figures in black robes the party believes are connected to the Cult of Lutheria, who coincidentally have been going through a bit of a rough time here. The Cult of Lutheria is also the major provider of wine around the city, and they have been, well, going through rough times in their own regard. Wine deliveries have begun a little bit slower. They believe that there's bandits out and about that have been intercepting some of these deliveries. The Cult even called upon the heroes for assistance, seeing that there's some common ground to be had here. There's a deal to be had. They ask for these bandits to be brought to them so that they may, well, make them repent for their sins against the cult. Alive, hopefully, if possible, but if dead, they will be performed funeral rites, as is customary for the clerics of the Lady of Death. With this information, the party has decided to take a bit of a rest, not under the comfortable roof of an inn, but rather on the hanging gardens of Mitros. Uh, Bit of an outdoors experience, a little piece of nature in the otherwise grand metropolis of Mitros. And with them being laid to their rest, temporary as it may be, that is where we pick up. So, you guys have decided to rest up here in the gardens of Mitros. I did mention before, it's kind of like this massive, sort of like segment of the city that is surrounded on almost all sides by decently sized oak trees and other forms of foliage. Uh, from an outsider's perspective, this could have basically been a zoo. Uh, there's all sorts of wildlife here as well. Mostly insects that hum in and about during the nighttime, but birds, squirrels, all sorts of small critters that have taken to make this little piece of paradise their home, so to speak. Uh, those are your shall we say, companions for the evening as you what you lay down to take a bit of a rest, well deserved as it may. In fact, do I have an image for this? Let me double check that. Make Glorious a little bit small on the screen there. But while I go look for this reference image, what are you guys doing while while taking a rest here?
Um, can we see if anybody's maybe spying on us or looking on us from the shadows? Seeing as we know two people want something from us right now, just as an extra precaution.
You can make me a perception check.
Cass is the only one up right now, right?
It's loading. It's still loading.
16. You don't really spot, anybody eyeing you from shadows per se. But a couple of tens of feet away from you guys, you will see this little area where it's as if somebody has set up like a very fancy resting place, of sorts. There's this bed, high quality silks covering it, and I'm talking it's one of those like frame beds with the little structures where you can like put curtains and the like on it. There's a single individual laid currently asleep on top of this bed, seemingly slightly chubby halfling individual seems to be resting there. There's a couple of mounds of fruits around him, as well as a couple of wine bottles, some unopened, some open. This man, whoever he is living the fucking high life in this park. Uh, but otherwise, you don't actually see anybody who seems to be, spying on you per se.
Alright. Um. Sorry, I'm just picturing downtown Central Park in New York City, and somebody literally has a bed with a bed canopy just fucking parked in the middle of the grass
He's
with
balling.
just buckets of fucking fruit next to him, sleeping like a baby.
He's got like a mansion tent.
And he's asleep?
Yeah, he's asleep. Also, I found the image. Not exactly accurate to how it's represented, but just to give you an idea, this is kind of like the general view you're dealing with. Rows of greenery with a couple of structures that are made in order to maintain some form of order, in the garden.
That looks sick.
Okay.
So it's just mostly greenery, but there's still actual like man-made structures. They didn't just let this foliage grow wild, so to speak.
Okay. Um. I get closer to this guy sleeping in his 5-star hotel bed.
You approach. There's a bit of a mix of scents that you pick up as you approach. Uh, Both the wine, the fruits, seem to emanate this, sweet fragrance. But the closer you get, the more you realize that these seem to be slightly masking another odor that seems to be emanating from the individual in question, uh, who, despite all this regal high life looking things that he surrounds himself with. They can't exactly mask his, shall we say, natural fragrance, so to speak. Again, you're not sure who the fuck this guy is, but it seems to be sleeping without a care in the world.
Um, excuse me, sir. I'm going to prestidigitate his smell away so he doesn't smell like body odor and that stuff anymore.
You cast presentation, kind of masks the odor away, but he otherwise doesn't wake up.
I look around his stuff without touching it. Does it look like people like give him donations, or does it look like he just somehow came across this stuff? Or
You wouldn't exactly be able to tell just by looking at this. It is a seizable collection, which indicates to you that if he did procure all of this himself, well, first of all, strange place to leave all of your possessions. If people are actually like giving this gifts, donations, so to speak, then whoever this guy is, he must have quite a bit of a reputation around these parts. Mind you, not all of the gifts, so to speak, that he has are of the same quality. Some look a little bit more, you like handmade, so to speak, as if not just like noble figures come visit this person, but other figures of lesser resources.
I will.
Actually, hold on. Let me. I might as well just show you the portrait of this individual on screen, or his token at the very least.
I will
He's definitely
open
friendly.
up my bag and pull out one of my three of my dad's wines that I have. I'll take out one, and I will set it next to him.
Okay.
Does he like wake
Yeah.
up or anything?
No reaction. He seems to be sound asleep.
All right. I will then pick up Frodo's friend, Samwise Gamgee. Okay, and then I will go ahead and pick back up the wine, and then I'll make note that maybe in the morning we could talk to him.
Okay.
And then I just go back to where everybody's laying around and sleeping. Do I recall of anybody being here?
What do you mean? What do you mean here?
Like making this like their home.
I mean, you probably would have like seen, this structure in the distance, like the bed in the distance when you were arriving at the gardens, but you never saw anybody set it up. So, it seems that this was here, like way ahead of you.
Alright, so he okay. Okay. I'll just go back and continue my watch.
Okay. You continue your watch. Nothing really happens. Uh, the rest of your watch goes very much uninterrupted. From time to time, you would well see, like I mentioned, the little animals that do inhabit these gardens. Small squirrels, other small creatures that you're not entirely sure if these were placed here by the city or they just one day found themselves here. Uh, they don't really interrupt you. In fact, they seem to do their best to avoid their distance. When they notice that you're not offering them like bread or anything like that. Uh, but the rest of your watch goes uninterrupted. Who goes next? Hello? Can you guys hear me? Hold on. Let me reconnect.
The heroes and we're sleeping outside. It's good. It's Gucci. It's Gucci.
Alright,
Yeah.
sorry. I had to reconnect there, but I am back. And apparently Pumo is playing MLB The Show.
It's DNT time, my guy.
Uh,
Oh, he probably just left his PlayStation on, I'm guessing.
He's not home yet.
Yeah, he was driving
So
his
he's
car when I called
probably
him.
on his phone. Yeah, he's on his phone playing that. He's not at home right now.
no, okay. Well, anyway.
We just left the PlayStation on.
But yeah. Sorry about that little technical slip up. I'm here. So yeah, I will say right now, regardless of the rest of your watches, unless you guys want to do something specific during them, you won't actually catch anybody, like a spy. Uh, whether that's because people aren't actually spying on you, or at this point in time, your enemies, so to speak, are not, you know, bothering keeping tabs on you for this time. You wouldn't really see anything out of the ordinary, unless any of you during your watches want to do something.
No, that's good for
It's
me.
not for me. Nah, I'm good.
I'm good.
As long as we ain't got the Lady of Coins coming after Drak and fucking Tellus and Septia aren't coming after Juno for the fucking horde, then we're good.
I can take her on. Easy.
Okay. So eventually, the next day will come. You guys awaken. You're in the gardens, surrounded by, well, the ambient sounds of not just the city just outside the perimeter of the oak trees, but also the ambient sounds of animals and, well, the people who come around and, leisurely stroll through the park. In fact, it is around that time where people start kind of like pouring into the garden, whether it be for morning jogs or other form of leisurely activities. That you will catch a couple of people coming in closer to the bed where the now awake halfling is currently still lounging about lazily. Uh, the individuals would approach, and though you're a fair distance away, you wouldn't actually hear what they're saying. They seem to kind of bring in this bunch of grapes for the individual. They seem to ask a couple of questions, and the individual responds in kind, albeit in a very nonplussed and uninvolved manner. And these people look at each other, they nod, they look back at the individual, they do a small bow, and then they walk off.
Huh. Huh. Did we get to hear what type of question they asked?
It was kind of brief. Well, you didn't hear the specifics of it. It almost seemed like they requested some degree of guidance from this individual. As if they were a group of believers looking up to an oracle of sorts.
So he might be
I'm
someone.
going to walk back up to this guy who I tried to visit last night.
The individual looks over at you, and as you approach, he kind of puts a hand up, almost as if saying, "Ooh, stop right there."
I stopped.
The individual looks at you up and down, and says, "Oh, look at you. You know, they do say that mirrors reveal many things, but they cannot talk. Luckily for you, they can't laugh either."
Rude.
Damn.
But I jest. Just a bit of a light-hearted joke to start off the day. I always say, if you can make fun of yourself, then you can make fun of life itself.
I mean, true.
So, was that jest to your liking, my lady?
Um, your delivery could have been a little smoother. It's not exactly polite
Uh,
to.
Politeness is so fake these days. Everybody sucks up to somebody else sooner or later. The guards suck up to the king sucks up to himself, I suppose. And those who do not, they suck up to the queen or to each other. Truly, brown nosers are everywhere these days. That's why the harsh, cold uh, reality of a well placed insult is far more honest than any word of compliment one might get. Look at me, waxing philosophically here. You clearly approach me for a reason, young miss. I see you may also seek the wisdom of Vitalis the Wise.
Of
Ooh, the
who?
wise?
He called
Or how
himself
do you spell it?
Vitalis.
I heard Pricklies the Wise, and it was a very
Please.
accurate name.
Vitalis.
Vitalis
The
the
wise.
Wise. I mean, I guess it was a very peculiar seeing somebody residing in the gardens in such a lavish lifestyle such as yourself. Um, we are new to this city, so I do apologize. How exactly does getting some wisdom from you work?
Well. You could say that my work is that which is not done by any other than perhaps the Oracle and the Queen herself. You see, many from across not just Mitros but other places around come here to seek guidance. And who am I but a humble servant to provide it for them? Of course, gifts and donations are appreciated. Can I raise as an eyebrow?
All right. She's gonna take out one of the wine bottles again that she took from her dad. Um, let's say if you could give our group some wisdom, and this wisdom is knowledge that we have yet to come by, I will give you this entire wine bottle from Pythor's collection.
I'm afraid that's not how it works, lady. It is tribute first, then question, then answer. But if you do not require it, then that's fine. I shall just continue to enjoy the gifts that my other fellow admirers have delivered to me already. He kinda grabs like a handful of the grapes that were delivered to him by the other previous group of people, begins to pop a couple of them into his mouth, chewing, smacking rather, on a in a very loud, foul fashion. He kind of looks at you while he chews, as if saying, well, not really saying anything, but rather giving you the idea that he's like a little full of himself. Yeah.
I'm going to shrug, and I'll take the wine bottle and I'll slide it back into my backpack and be like, I mean, I guess there's truly no real reason why we would need some wisdom from Vitalis when I could just personally message Versailles if we have any questions. And she'll look to her party.
Ah, I see what you're doing. Trying to provoke me. I won't buy it.
The one time Pumo can be useful. Um,
Oh, do not get me wrong. I know precisely who you are, and I know what you're trying to do. Shame, really, that such a task was given to people of such hubris. But it is what it is. Life can sometimes be like that. And who am I if not someone who goes with the flow of life?
That's good. Well,
I don't have anything on me but wine, and I don't want to give this person a full thing of wine.
I don't got really anything on me except money. So,
Oh, you walked up as well, Drakgar? I thought it was
oh
opposite.
no, she just did. But I'm just thinking, accidentally metagame me.
Oh, 1 second. Alright, sorry about that.
Okay, fine. She'll take out. I don't want to give him a full thing of wine. God damn it! I'll take out the full thing of wine and I'll hand it over to him.
Ooh, from Pythor's private collection, you say? Kind of takes like a deep whiff from the top cork, and says, "I can already smell the quality." Now, what is your question? And out of character, what he is offering here is, mechanically speaking, let me just double check something.
Oh, you still there?
Oh, did I cut out?
I think he died again.
Oh, 1 second. Sorry about that. What he's offering, mechanically speaking, is essentially akin to the effects of the spell divination. For those who may not know, still listen. Okay. For those who may not know, divination is essentially a spell that allows you to get into contact with an upper being, so to speak, and ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity that is to happen within the next 7 days. And the answer will be truthful.
All right.
So, what is it that you ask of Vitalis the Wise?
I would ask, I know what I would ask as Cassie, but I'm trying to think of how to word it into like actual words. Exandri would ask, Tellus and Septia wish to buy the Horde of It's by Mitria. Is that how I say it?
Balmitra.
Belmitra. Their intentions with the Horde are they good? Or are their attention or their goals with the Horde align with darker needs,
That
like Demetria's?
that wasn't a single question.
Okay.
Has to be concerning specific goal, event, or activity. And it's
Event or activity?
yes, a goal, event, or activity to occur within the next 7 days. And it's only a single question.
Okay. Okay, never mind. Then I would ask, oh, I'll simply ask who is stealing the wine within the city.
He looks at you, belches a little bit, and says, "Well, that's a bit of a specific question. But I think what I can tell you is there are forces out there that hold on to age-long grudges. And these forces can be as big as a large collective or as small as but a single person. They who would dare to steal the city supply of wine away from those who are here to impart it amongst the locals. Well, there must be one such individual to hold on to such a grudge. And perhaps that individual is not as far away from the sources of their gripes as you believe. That individual may in fact be, it's actually in fact one individual that, well, knows this that you speak of. Although their name, of course, is not one that they would remember. That is who that individual is.
Okay. Good to know. Um, thank you. Vitalis the Wise.
Now, if we are quite done here, away with you. I have very important business to attend. She kind of lays back down on the bed and continues to eat a fruit, drink wine.
She leaves.
You walk back to the party, and yeah, what do you guys do?
We start heading towards the bandits. Or
well, we gotta go head towards the vineyard. I think the earlier we get there, the better. Maybe we can snoop around, interrogate some of the employees. Sooner we get this over, the better. Although I did just have a reading about that. This whole debacle with the wine, and it sounds like that it's one person, and this person has a grudge against Tellus and Septia's wine business, possibly. And
You think
that this person is closer to them than they think.
it might be the Lady of Coins that's doing it?
No,
No,
most
most
definitely not.
definitely not. I bet
No.
it's Chandra's.
Chandras?
That would be
Maybe.
hilarious.
He's secretly plotting against them.
It's
He's
glorious.
secretly a drunkard.
It's glorious. He has a secret alter ego when we go to sleep.
All right, so let's go ahead and head to the vineyards. But with this new information in mind, maybe talking to people who work at the vineyard is a good option, seeing as they don't know where the wine is disappearing from in the first place. Maybe we could ask around and once we're there and see if they know of anybody who like holds a grudge against Tellus and Septia.
That's a good idea.
But if it is Chandras, I'm willing to turn a blind eye. That's an inner church issue at that point.
Okay. So you guys go off from.
And then,
Oh yeah.
oh, sorry. I was just gonna say on the way there, I was just gonna be looking see if there's anything of importance or anything fishy on the way.
Oh yeah, I gotta look out for people in black robes and possible
Yeah, the
people
usual.
looking shifty at you.
Yeah, the usual stuff.
Not really. I guess what you will see, you do see some people with black robes. There appear to be around 7 of them, roasting, just like on the side of the road, seemingly roasting a pig, over kind of like this bronze briar of sorts, or buyer, whatever the word may be. They kind of begin to just offer, free cuts of pork and, small, very small, like cups of wine. Akin to, those free samples you would find at the Costco. These individuals seem very joyful, actually, even though they are wearing the signature, like, black robes of the Temple of Lutheria. They seem to kind of be offering these to passerbys. Some do accept it. Others just kind of pass them by with a expression in their faces that are, they clearly seem to be like, this guy's are crazy. Let's not engage. Type of look that they get from the populace. They kind of, for those who do accept them, they kind of say something among the lines of, "Here, compliments of the Temple of Lutheria. All hail the Lady of Dreams." Do any of you accept?
No, I am not accepting this.
I'll walk up to them because I'm curious, and I will say good morning.
As soon as you say good morning, I'm gonna turn to you, and one of them like slices like a cut of the pork and, pours the wine and presents them both to you. They don't really like hang like plates per se, but rather this little kind of like bronze, like pincers, tweezers, however you might want to call them. They kind of, are meant clear to just kind of hold up the pork while you, chew on it, bite on it from time to time. And they can hand both of these to you, like the little cup of wine and the slab of pork, before really even answering your good morning. Uh, they present it to you, rather. They, whether you take it or not is up to you.
I'll take it. And then I'll hold. I'm not eating it right away or anything like that. I'm holding it though.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna present them with like a really sweet smile, and I'm going to be like, you guys work for the Church of Lutheria?
Why, yes, we do. These are compliments from the temple. Please accept them and accept the blessing of the Lady of Dreams.
Why, thank you. We're actually doing a little bit of a service for you guys today. Actually, we were hired by Tellus and Septia to investigate your guys' wine disappearing.
Ah, a good Samaritan that has taken it upon themselves to service the temple by means different than ours. It's good to hear that some, at least, some in this city are keen on assisting us. Well, we wish you well on your journey.
Why, thank you. Would it be okay if I ask you a question though?
Ah, by all means, just one moment, and another passerby, happens to step by a little bit too close, so another slice of the pork is taken, another cup of wine is handed, and they, pass it over to the person. Yes, what was your question? Sorry?
No worries. I was just wondering if you guys knew of anybody who might have a grudge against Tellus and Septia and their wine business.
Well, I dare say there's many people in this city and around it that are incredibly jealous of the two priests. Some, of course, do not consider our religion to be one to be praised, and many undermine our activities. You could say we make a lot of enemies. And, well, what are you gonna do about that, right? I cannot truly tell you who might be plotting against us because, well, there's always some bad apples in the bunch that threaten the livelihood of our sweet, sweet high priest and high priestess.
Hmm, understandable. Um, do you by chance this specific person would have had a grudge against them for a very, very long time though.
Well, sounds like someone who can't let go of the past. You can elbows one of the other cultists who are passing out drinks and a slice of pork, and almost as if saying, "Haha, that was pretty funny, huh?" And the other cultist just nods along, probably not even having listened to the conversation, and they, he kind of turns back his attention to you. I'm sorry, I cannot help you here.
No worries. Be safe today, and I will leave.
And you as well. Once again, may the Lady of Dreams watch over you. So,
And then when we get super far away, I'll put the bacon and the wine down.
you're what? What do you do?
I said, and then when we get out of like eye shot of them, I'll set the bacon and the wine down like on a windowsill.
Okay. You do that. Some, some people that are kind of passing by are kind of like looking at you like, oh, all right. Uh, there's like that one, homeless person that does show up, and he's like, oh, I'll take these, and just grabs the the wine and the pork and walks off. And other than that, however, you don't really see much else of note on your way to the to the vineyards. You kind of, at some point, uh, that you kind of have to go out to the eastern side of the city if you want to reach the vineyards that are, on the outskirts of Mitros. Even from a distance, as you're arriving, you can already see like the really wide like farmlands that are the vineyards. They aren't just vineyards, by the way. Animal farms, crops of other various plants are littering the outside. Well, maybe littering is not the proper word, but more so they make a very idyllic looking countryside, so to speak, for what is otherwise the largest metropolis in Thailia. You all kind of are about to walk out through the eastern gates. When you begin to see something ahead of you that catches your eye a little bit. There is a large amount of people outside. Most of them look like your average commoner. Others look, like armed guards. There appears to be some form of almost like a funeral procession of sorts. There's a lot of people that are wearing dark clothing. You hear, even at a distance, a very, a lot of mourning, sad voices that litter the streets that are moving with this large group of people. Just outside the city's gates, you will see as a large or like funeral pyre is beginning to be lit.
Should we check it out?
I mean, this is happening like basically on the way out of the city, so you kind of have to walk through this.
This isn't. Oh, okay.
You see, however, actually, there, those of you with a passive perception of 14 and above, be able to notice something in the crowd ahead. As you approach, you begin to see this cage that is being dragged along by some of the soldier-looking individuals.
Uh-huh.
At first, you didn't quite recognize what was the deal with that until they set it over to one side of the main road, just outside the city gate. It isn't until you get a little bit closer that you more or less realize, oof, this
Oh no.
is not looking good. As I move you over to the next map. Once my computer stops lagging. Hold on, Mitros.
Do I need to tell Juno to look
And it
away?
was soldiers doing what?
Well, as far as you can tell, they dragged a cage off to the side of the main road, not too far away from the funeral pyre. There we go. I found the map. One moment.
So if our perception is lower than 14, then we don't really notice that, or
Oh, everybody notices the cage being moved, but only those with a perception of 14 and above would be able to tell what's in the cage.
okay.
The cage that these soldiers have put down over to the side of the road appears to contain well, what makes some of your hearts sink a little bit.
Juno, look away.
There appears to be a Minotaur inside this cage that is being set aside off to the side of the road, seemingly for something. There's this wooden stockades not too far away, fences rather than stockades. There's this wooden fences set off to a bit of a segment of flat ground. that is looking more and more like this is a scene that perhaps you're not going to like. As the closer you approach, the more you begin to hear the priest, the head priest that seems to be, well, the priest that seems to be heading this funeral procession. Seems to do the little spiel of my brothers and sisters. Today we gather in mourning of our fallen, those whose lives were taken away from us too short. Uh, Siblings, parents, children, these people once held a dear place in all of your hearts. Whether the lives were taken by natural causes, or even worse, by the actions of those who would wish us harm beyond the borders of these walls. It is regrettable that their lives were lost regardless. This is the person that is currently speaking. You guys can place yourselves down on the map around here if you wish. Well, actually, do place yourselves down rather. The priest seems to, be sort of more or less going on this, like speech about the loss of life and the like. Many children amongst the crowd will look up to their parents, ask that innocent but heartbreaking question of, will we ever see blank again?
Oh no.
Some parents can't really handle the question and break down in crying. Others power through it and take a moment to kneel down closer to the children and briefly but firmly explain to them the nature of today's events. There is this goes on for quite a bit. At some point towards the end of the a little speech that the priest has done, you see some of the armored individuals, the soldiers amongst the crowd, kind of begin to gather. They gather a little bit closer to the priestly individual, and they look at him, with kind of like this knowing look. The individual nods to them and says, honoring the traditions of our people, we offer the combat that is about to happen to those who fell in battle, so that by witnessing the bravery of their brothers and sisters, their spirits may reach a peaceful conclusion in this realm or the next. You see as the three soldiers kind of begin to move down towards the area where they have the like piece of flat ground with the fences next to the cage.
If you're talking, your mic's muted. I don't know if you're.
Hello?
Oh no, Mitch was moving, so I didn't know if he was trying to talk or anything. If he was just moving.
I just figured we were moving as that was all happening.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. I wasn't sure if you were talking.
Knew the blue man was never to be trusted.
What?
So what I'm picking up here is they're about to have a combat with this Minotaur as a
Almost a form of ritual, perhaps.
Yeah, but the Minotaur isn't blamed for it doesn't seem like the Minotaur is blamed for the killings.
None of the speech that the priest gave away seems to indicate that. It's more so this is kind of like a tradition, I guess, that they do. The Minotaur in the cage, by the way, is unarmed. No armor, no weapons. Just kind of like the rags on his body.
Oh my bad.
Please,
Alarm going off.
yeah, please silence that phone. All right.
Well, it takes a second to silence it.
That's fine. That's fine.
I have to completely log onto the phone.
Yeah, it seems more like akin. This is just like a traditional ritual that is happening. The Minotaur is unarmed, only with the rags on his, on his body that act as his clothes. There is, you kind of look over, at the Minotaur in the cage, and they seem to be not really stressed out. Uh, they're kind of they kind of have like this very relaxed expression on their face, as if they just kind of want to get this over with. Uh, in fact, he kind of turns to look over at you as you're staring at this scene, and waves at you from inside the cage.
I'm gonna approach
Hi.
him and just offer him like water or whatever and some rations if he needs it. And ask what is going on here.
Oh, well, ritual combat, you know how it be. This guy's apparently it's like a funeral or something. Thanks for the water, by the way. Uh, he kind of like grabs it through the small gaps in the cage, and after downing a bit of a drink, says, "Well, uh, I'm told that sometimes, what happens after this is that you can like kind of earn your freedom if you win. So, I mean, if I win, that's pretty cool, right?
Hell yeah.
But of course, I guess
But
I guess it's
who
not.
told you
Oh,
who told you that you earn your freedom if you win?
well, I just heard that from the other ones. Speaking of which, how do you get your freedom? Kind of looking at you,
I guess I was just born in the right place at the right time. I was um never taken to be enslaved.
Oh shit, that's pretty badass. I was also born on the outside. One thing led to another, and I found myself here.
I'm going to um offer him a handshake, and then in my hand I want to have like two of my darts as like a pass off to him,
Kind
a secret pass off.
of, first of all, make me a sleight of hand check. And so the crowd, the priests and the soldiers, they kind of have been a little bit distracted because this was happening during the little like speech and like that the priest was doing. But when the when that speech is over and the priest turns around and the soldiers turn around, the crowd turns around, and they kind of see you, like over there. You kind of slip in the handshake like the two darts. Bulba kind of looks at them in his fingers and says, "Whoa, you dropped this." He kind of hands it back to you.
I said, you hold on to that in case you need it. Does he have a place to like store it? I'm assuming it's like a pocket or something.
He only has rags. There's no like visible pockets on his outfit.
I'm just gonna tell him to bury them then, for now, in case he needs them.
No, that's very kind of you, but oh no, I think I can handle them myself.
I like this guy. All right, I'll take him back.
Take the darts back. It's surprised.
And then
Thankfully,
I'm just gonna say,
none of the bystanders actually saw you slip that into his hand. But the soldiers do kind of like begin to go down onto the the gated area. The little
I'm gonna
flat.
say good luck and head up.
They do kind of like look at you weird as as you pass them by. Uh, they're kind of like, like look at you up and down, and then look at the rest of your crew, and they just kind of, you know, continue on their way. The uh, the priest kind of seems to gesture at one of the other citizens who walks by and opens up like the gate of the cage, and then quickly takes a couple of steps back. Uh, Once the cage is open, the Minotaur steps out, and again, no weapons in hand, while the soldiers are armed. Uh, he kind of walks out and says, "All right, everybody, you might want to be a little bit careful where you point that. I don't want to accidentally stab you with your own weapons, sir." Uh, the soldiers, they don't even entertain like the comment. They are like laser focused. The priest then turns around and says, "Now, in the name of the Lord of Storms, let this battle begin. And unless any of you are interfering."
I don't want to interfere. Can I just ask the priest if the Minotaur wins this, is he released or does he stay in captivity?
You look over at the priest and ask that, Juno. And the priest looks back at you and kind of raises an eyebrow. And he kind of, for a moment, it's as if he's hesitant on actually answering that question. Uh, Instead, what happens is that he looks at you and says, "I'm not sure where you heard such a rumor, but this is merely how things are. Should the Minotaur survive, as unlikely as that is, he will have to return to where he came. But
How much how much is his life worth to you?
Yeah, I was about to ask the same thing.
I recognize you. You're the ones that are all the talk of the city. Please, I would ask you not to interrupt the funeral process. These people are in mourning."
Um,
A little late.
but let me get this straight. He did not kill the person who died?
Many people lost their lives recently.
Yes, but he didn't take them, did he?
Correct.
And how did these people lose their lives?
Some by falling in the line of duty, others by falling to very bad circumstances. Please,
So your guys' right is to kill others because your loved ones died of natural causes.
there is a look that the priest gives you and says, "I would much rather call them unnatural causes, but no, I can tell that you are not quite familiar with the process of this type of rituals in Mitros, as outsiders tend to often be. No, it has nothing to do with spilling the blood of another, but merely to honor those who fell in battle by providing them their spirits, their presence, one final chance to see their brothers and sisters rise to glory."
Okay.
Derek walk up and talk to him for a moment.
Oh God.
What do you want to say?
But like, well, I've been here since the where'd I go? What the heck?
Now you just move you closer to the priest. Uh,
Oh,
Wait,
I thought I was standing
I
next to
thought,
no,
I thought
I pinged. This is the person I pinged. Oh, my bad. Hold on. Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
That
no.
yellow ping that you see, that's the priest.
okay, I was confused. I thought it was the one all the way over here, all the way by the cage. My bad. Okay, so I walk up to the priest saying, "Well, I've been here since the establishment of this continent, because I was here. I've never heard of such rituals.
Mm. Then clearly you have not been living in society for quite some time.
Duh, I was trapped by a magical woman, which, by the way, it's nice, but still."
Oh my god.
So you walk up and question the validity of our traditions based on nothing but how you feel.
Oh, it's more like I was here and we'd never established that.
So
I say you give him a chance to be free.
How about this? If he wins the fight, I will buy him from you.
you guys
Cash.
are not fighting to the death, correct?
They're defining to death, I'm pretty sure.
Well, obviously I cannot control the actions of those soldiers. Grip-stricken as they are, they will fight with everything they have.
They should. I'm just saying, if they lose and the Minotaur wins, I will offer you whatever you would like in exchange for his freedom.
By this point, some of the bystanders are kind of like looking at you guys a little bit weird. One of them, an old lady, will say something like, "Please, we're just trying to follow tradition and mourn in our own way. I ask
Well,
you not to
I'm
interfere."
trying to change that tradition.
Porunga,
I
put a bomb.
agree.
Put a bomb, Porunga. Put a bomb.
How about this? How about if some of us spar against your 3 men? We'll purchase the Minotaur, and nobody has to die today.
I volunteer as tribute.
The crowd, the looks of the crowd are a little bit more sour at this point.
How about this? If you need a Minotaur, then I'll step in there.
The priest kind of looks over at you, looks back at the rest of your crew, and says, "All right, seeing as you wish to make a mockery of this process, and I shall give you two choices. Either one of you intercedes on the behalf of the Minotaur, or you let him fight as is. And if he wins, then he's free.
Um,
And if you win, then he's free."
so can I quickly scan in these guards, like scan them up and down, see what they like? If do I recognize any like type of
Um,
signs that would say that they're higher ranking officers, or maybe their weapons quality?
they don't appear to be like high ranking. They look like regular rank and file soldiers. They don't even appear to be donning the colors of the Order of Siren. They just seem like city guards slash soldiers that you know may have like a personal stake in this matter.
Wait, so the options right now is the Minotaur fight or Juno fights? Is that what I'm getting correctly?
Minotaur fights, and if he wins, he's free. Or one of you fights, and if you win, he is also free.
I think he needs to fight for his own freedom, but I like the fact that he's free now after. And he seems, I mean, just judging by his character and his icon size, he seems like a very large
Well, I mean,
Minotaur.
I
Beefy man.
I feel like he's got. If this was Vegas, I feel like they would be favoring him over the 3 guards.
Like you, Juno, you're on the shorter, smaller side of Minotaurs. So this guy's like,
Stronger will.
he's like proper sized, almost damn near like 10 feet tall.
I kind of want to see him go. I kind of want to see him fight. So I'm satisfied with the result of him being released, and let's watch the fight.
All right, 10 gold. 10 gold on the big guy.
Hear one of the people, like bystanders, in mourning, on the back, saying, "You there, gamble on what is supposed to be a holy funeral."
Say
Yes.
holy funeral. You say holy funeral unless this big guy nearly kills three more people, and you also make another funeral for these 3 people. I don't know, man. Their blood's
There's
on your
nothing
hands. If you make
holy
it happen
about this
again.
funeral. You guys are celebrating death with more death.
They
Sausage.
it's like muttering between the crowd of like, how does she dare? What is she saying? Is she really stepping in for that creature? Comments like that being thrown around by the, well, really only the grown-ups of the, of the crowd. The kids that I mentioned are amongst the crowd. They don't really comment on it. In fact, being kids, they would rather throw in a couple more questions that the grown-ups are unable to answer. Such as, but wait, is what they're saying true? Or, other questions like, yeah, like, why does he have to fight, pointing at the Minotaur? Questions like that kids would often do in these type of situations. Question.
That would be because your parents are stuck on age-old tradition that is nothing but bloodshed.
You stay away from my child, says one of the mothers with a, like a Karen-style haircut.
Listen here, Karen.
Whoa.
I'm gonna take Xandri, and I'm just gonna say, let's save our energy. We might need it to heal Bullbug if he gets injured.
I whisper Sandra.
I'm gonna walk over here.
I know the token has his name. He hasn't actually introduced himself. You didn't really ask.
Yeah,
him.
I know. I just didn't want to call him Minotaur because, yeah.
So
I'm
Sandra.
gonna be like, sir, may I please have your name?
Kind of turns around. He has already, or was about to rather, was about to kind of adopt like a, not really like a martial art stance, more like a I'm gonna fight however I can type of like stance. He kind of turns around and says, me?
Yes, you. These three men over here have weapons, right?
They do appear to have weapons, yes.
And he has no weapons?
No.
Should we just have me fight instead? Because I can definitely take all three of them.
No,
on.
but they're gonna take your weapons away from you.
I don't need weapons.
And you're not even proficient in hand-to-hand combat, buddy.
I think this is good. I think that if nothing
Sir,
else,
can you bend down to be a little bit closer to me, please?
yeah, I will do so.
Not you.
My, calm down.
She's going to place her hand on his cheek and she's going to be like, can I know your name, please?
Juan.
Me? Well, call me Bullbug.
And I'm going to close my eyes, and with my hand still resting on his cheek, I'm going to say a little prayer and cast aid on him.
You cast aid on Bullbug. He kind of.
I love his name.
There's a little bit of a shiver that he does when you do that, because he was clearly not expecting something like that to happen.
But I definitely make the whole thing look like a prayer as I do it.
Upon seeing this, the priest also does a prayer. Kind of holding his holy symbol of Siren, one hand behind his back, the other hand a little bit more forward, and he also seems to do like a quick prayer, saying something among the lines of, "May strength carry your strikes, and you aim true. May your strikes be as strong as that of a raging storm brought by the Lord." And
Sausage.
so you both do your little prayers. He kind of reels back a little bit from the, from the little burst of energy the aid had on him, and he's like, "Ooh, that was a little bit weird. What do you do, lady?"
I wink at him.
Huh? In chat.
Okay. Sure.
Post gifts.
Can I just takes a couple of steps back and walks back to like the walks over towards the soldiers. The soldiers who you notice are looking at him undaunted. Bulba kind of cracks his knuckles and says, "Alright, so ground rules, right? Nothing below the belt. You know, be careful where you point the sticks at. And all around, well, let's have a good time here, fellas, right?" And the, almost as if completely ignoring the fact that he is in a relatively dire situation for him, where his life could truly be on the line. You see as Bullbug and the soldiers both like charge at each other. What is everyone's passive perception here?
Owie.
Wait, would you say
13.
passive perception?
We asking passive perception?
Yes, what is everyone's passive perception?
Oh, mine's a 13.
I think mine's a
You cannot.
Mine is
probably-
16.
Okay. Juno.
13.
So, Xandri,
13.
you can tell that I'm not gonna roll initiative for them. We're just gonna do this a little bit more narratively. What is happening during the first part of combat is that when Bulbug and the guards all rush each other, they begin to do a bit of a like a flanking formation, where they kind of go on opposite sides of him, and they go in with like hit and run attacks at him, either using their swords or their spears. And at some point, it begins to look kind of weird to you, Xandri. Because there are times where the strike that a soldier does at Bulbug is clearly not, was a little bit off mark. And then at the last second, there's kind of like this curvature to the arm of the individual. And then, sort of like hits, the target, hits its mark.
I'm gonna look over to the priest. And I'm gonna be like, now.
I believe you've casted this spell before. But you can roll me an Arcana check with advantage, because you're a cleric.
$23?
You believe this the priest, masking their spells a similar fashion to how you did, has casted Bless on the soldiers, to kind of make their strikes less erring, so to speak. And in a fashion very similar to most other spellcasters, the way this priest maintains concentration on that spell seems to be them continuously mouthing a mantra, a prayer of sorts. Not really out loud, but rather you see the movement of their lips.
I'm gonna sneeze and cast Bane on the 3 soldiers.
I was also gonna say, can I quickly go do the bathroom real quick, and I'll just sprint to bushes, and also cast.
But you
Bane.
don't see it though, Pumo, is the thing.
Shh. Derek was gonna do it as well anyway. You guys go to the bathroom.
I mean, what is
Also
passive
cast
perception? What is the passive perception there?
13.
You
didn't see it as a thing.
you wouldn't see in those weird moments where the soldier's weapons seem to redirect course.
But Derek was. Oh no, sorry. Real life Puma was thinking about it anyway. Before she said it, which I'm still sad about. Double casting.
I will say, there is no. You can't double stack bait.
Sag.
What
fine.
you can do, however, is should any of them make the charisma save. You can potentially attempt to affect those who did make it, and try and see if you can get them affected with pain.
Well, I'll do that then. If it fails or not. But Derek will also still do the bathroom though. He has to go.
Actually, I take that back. I will, when I see what's going on, I'm going to saunter my way kind of back over to the group, and I'm gonna whisper, the priestess keeps casting spells on them repeatedly. And I'm gonna dead at the priestess and hold my hand up to Bullrock, and I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on him and give him 2 AC as his body shimmers for a split second, and I don't hide what I do.
There goes P. Cast Bane.
There is, for the average citizen, they don't know any better if they don't know magic. But you do catch the eye of the priest, kind of looking over at you. He doesn't publicly call you out.
No, it's
As I
do
don't
it.
publicly call him out either. But I'm
go
dead
tell
ass
him.
staring at him.
Go step up to her. What are you
I'm
doing?
just gonna go get in. I'm just gonna go try to distract her, get in the way. Juno doesn't understand how magic works, so he thinks if he stands in the way of, like, in between them, it'll hit him instead. But
Just start breakdancing.
The
Raise her up.
priest,
Just like
more so annoyed than outright hindered by your presence. He's just kind of trying to look past you and says, "Excuse me, you're blocking the."
I just ignore her.
Say
just
you're
like
blocking my
that
view of the
scene from
fire.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Say you're blocking my
Distracting,
view of
what's
the
his name?
fire.
You see, as the fight goes on, Bullbug, again, with his bare hands, kind of fighting against this group of soldiers who have spears and swords. He seems to actually get pretty good hits in them. One of them kind of tries to run up and shield bash him to knock him prone. But right as he does that, Bullbug turns his head to him and meets the charge with his horns, kind of locking the shield in between both horns, and then moving it over to the side, disarming the soldier of his shield. The soldier sort of losing his balance in that moment. Bullbug kind of follows that up with kind of an uppercut swing right at the jaw of this soldier, who goes Street Fighter style, flying back. Surprisingly, Bullbug doesn't aim for killing blows. He
I like this guy.
he seems clearly like he's treating this more like a friendly brawl than a life or death battle. The other two remaining soldiers that are still conscious kind of look over each other and nod along. Instead of doing kind of the flanking maneuver they've been doing, they kind of position themselves a little bit closer to each other to do kind of more like a phalanx esque formation. Shield wall in front of them, spears above their head, trying to slowly close in on Bullbug, kind of corner him. Bullbug himself is kind of looking in between both of them, kind of trying to figure out, okay, who do I strike? And then you see in his expression that he just gets the most brilliant idea ever. He can't keep switching his sight in between both of these soldiers because they're gonna get him at his blind sight. So you look in his expression as a goofy smile presents itself. He out loud says, "I got it," and you see as he goes cross-eyed to apparently look at two soldiers at the same time. The two soldiers are caught off guard by the sudden change in his eyes, and that moment of hesitation of the soldiers, not, for a moment being taken aback by this, is enough for Bulwark to kind of jam both his hands in between that small, minute gap of their two shields, push them away, and as they're trying to recover their balance, he kind of grabs both of them by their helmets and boom, hits them against each other, knocking the last two soldiers out.
Concussions.
Ricked.
Get the smelling salts, guys.
I walk in there and take out some bandage, and I will cast medic on him, and I'll wrap up some of his wounds and heal him.
What's hurt? Some of those piercing swords did find a mark. He looks roughly, he's taken quite a little bit of damage. Nothing life-threatening, you don't think, but It probably would have been a slightly closer fight uh, if the appropriate situations would have presented themselves. The priest just kind of shakes their head in disappointment and turns around to the rest of the crowd and says, "Apologies, brothers and sisters. If the souls of your fellow loved ones may not find the peace that they desire and deserve, well, know that at least these brave men and women have given it their all during this time of mourning. Someone, get them out of there." Uh,
I'm healing the soldiers as well.
you do see that a couple of the more able-bodied, like individuals amongst the crowd, kind of move in, kind of looking over at you with a mix of resentment, confusion, sadness.
I'll also pick up the soldiers and help get them out.
So
Uh,
the
Patrick,
5 went to
hold on.
Bullrog, and then the 6 went to the guy in the corner by the group, and then the 8 went to the top guard on the right, and then the 6 went to the bottom guard on the right.
After a bit of time, of you guys kind of like patching them up, and eventually the rest of the crowd moving them out of the arena, so to speak. Uh, you do get some looks, some varied looks from the crowd. Some have more or less changed their tune, looking at you with rather more outright respect than sour looks. Though most of them are still of a mind similar to the priest. The priest looks over and looks over at you guys directly and says, "I hope you're happy with your actions."
I look
Yes,
him
we
dead in
are.
the eyes and I say, "Yes, yes, we are."
In unison, guys. In unison. Yes, we are.
The priest,
Even
I'm
better.
gonna look to the people who are in mourning though, and I'm gonna step forward, and I'm gonna be like, I understand that you guys have this ritual to deal with the death of your loved ones by the means of more fighting and bloodshed. But there are more than one way to mourn those who are passing on. Might I suggest a ritual from my hometown? I would very much appreciate in showing you guys the ritual later, if you're willing.
Includes
there's a mixed reaction on the crowd.
beer.
Some of them seem a little bit too taken aback to really fully grasp your words. Others are a little bit more receptive, but you see visible, changes in their expression. In general, it seems that while some people in this crowd may have been, affected by your words and action, they are currently in a state where they don't really seem like they know if they should or should not answer. Fact further accentuated by the priest very quickly not really waiting for them to give you a response, rather turning to the crowd and saying, "Well, this little procession has ended. May the blessing of the Lord of Storms be with you all, and may you all live on to see brighter tomorrows that your fellows could not." And the priest is actually the first one to walk away, only giving you a passing glance as he moves on back to the city.
What type of church is Sidon? Got it. I glare at him as he walks by. And then my glare goes away when I look back at the citizens.
Some of the citizens do look back at you, but again, they don't seem like, you know, they were already, a lot of them were already in this state of, well, of grief when you walked in, and this whole series of events have only further, driven them into a bit of a state of confusion. So they don't verbalize an answer to you, but you can tell in the looks of some of them that they appear to consider your words, if only for a brief, noticeable moment. Otherwise, they just kind of, in a very without any really fanfare, without any real, uh, grandiose exit. They otherwise just all kind of walk off back onto the city. The only sound emanating from the group now is the questioning of the children that are accompanying the parents, asking.
As they start to leave, though, can I be like, tonight, if you wish to mourn your loved ones in another way, you'll be able
They're
to
leaving.
find us
Quick.
here.
They're leaving. Tell them quick, quick.
I say that as they're all leaving and walking by.
Again,
I'm ignoring.
you see like small mannerisms, small gestures that indicate that they are listening to you. They just seem to be tapped out in energy, to talk to people for the rest of the day. The ones, however, that are not are the kids who, as they go off with their parents, they begin to ask questions such as, uh, you know, why do you not listen to that lady? Are those soldiers gonna be all right? Is there going to be another fight like this in the future? Are they going to grab another Minotaur?
Those kids are my hero. Guys, we must protect the innocents.
And eventually
We got to mold their brains properly for the future.
they disperse in the city streets. While all of that was happening, Bullbug kind of, stretches his shoulders, limbers up a little bit, kind of looks over at you guys, Juno and Drakgar, who are the closest to him, and says, well, that was the thing. Not sure what got all of them really riled up like that, but, appreciate you guys, speaking up and all of that.
I'm gonna pat him on the back and say that was a hell of a fight. Not many beings out there can fight like that. I'm gonna go into my bag and I'm gonna grab like 20 gold pieces and I'm gonna like wrap it in a little pouch. And I'm gonna hand it to him and I'm gonna say, you were correct. You after winning that, you are free now. This town still has flawed values to where they don't respect our kind, so I suggest you go the opposite direction. But you're a
I'm
hell
gonna
of a
pull a
fighter.
map out of
I
my
can tell
bag.
you've got a good heart. There's plenty of work out there for people like you.
Kind of looking at the at the gold, appreciate it. But about that whole being there a place for me out there, gonna be a little bit
Actually,
difficult for that.
there might be. I'm gonna hand over the map I just pulled out of my bag. Why don't you head north to Astoria for a little bit?
Looks down and just kind of says, "Yeah. Oh, what's happening there? Why would I go there?"
Well, it's my hometown, and I can write a letter and give it to you to hand to the guards upon your arrival. Um, I feel like Astoria is a little bit more open-minded.
That's actually something I kind of want to ask you, DM.
She asked
is
him if he wants to join our party.
I don't think. No, because we just released him, Luke. We just released him from.
He could be our friend.
captivity. We don't want to retake him in. That's not.
We have the
Listen,
goat man.
And we're doing the same thing
Astoria
that
is the
Clown was
town
doing.
of monster collecting. We got a one-eyed giant back there. There's some
Yeah,
basilisks back there.
Is this the only town that has these values towards minotaurs, or is it like most of the towns have this, or is it?
Just in general, Fae, Minotaurs, giants. There is a general stigma in most places. Well, only Mitros is the one that practices the slavery of Minotaurs. The general stigma against giants, Fae, and centaurs and Minotaurs is that they are generally to be kept at arm's length because, surprise, surprise, those were all the races that sided with the Titans during the First War. So even those who, align themselves with the five gods tend to have, not an outright hatred for these groups, more so of a general wariness. Bad blood between, like centuries old bad blood and what have you. But only Mitros is the one that practices this horrid, practice, I guess.
I'm gonna relay that to him. I'm just gonna be like this, or I'm gonna relay like the safe areas for us minotaurs to be in.
Kind of thinks about
He
it
knows that.
and says, "Well, I mean, sounds pretty cool and all. It's just, well, don't really have
Food.
where I can go back to. Uh, my last home, I think it's just gone. Not sure if anything else remains back there. But if you're saying that there's places out there that are cool for people like me to stay in, I'll take your word for it."
I'm gonna be like, hey, Drac, can you bend over for a second so I can write something on some parchment?
Wait, what do you say? Could you repeat that?
I asked my brother to bend over so I could use his back as a desk really quickly to write a letter on some parchment.
Screw it. Fucking I'll do it.
I
told
started
Juno-
scribbling out a note that says, "Hi, Dad. It's Exandri. We helped. Come to
Big guy.
terms for this Minotaur's freedom. His name is Bulrog. What is that his name?
Bulbug.
Bullbug.
Bulbug. He is pretty friendly.
He's a
Strong.
great
I
fighter.
would greatly appreciate it if you can find some decent work around the city for him until our return.
The ghost ship. The thing.
People here in Mitros are very backwards. Can't wait to get home. Miss you bunches. Please take care of him. XOXO Exandri. And then I'm going to take out my ring, and I'm going to heat up a candle really quickly, and then I'm going to seal it with my signature ring, and I'll hand that and the map over to Bulbug.
Kind of looks over at the letter, stares at it for a couple of seconds, says, "Well, I don't know what this says, but it does look like important words to me." Kind of.
Yes. When you get to the city, just show it to the guards. Now, please, don't worry. They will act a little protective when you first get there, but just let them know that you're here on behalf of Exandria and Drac and the Dawnbringers, and you come with a note for their father.
Okay. I'll do that then, I guess. Well, honestly, I didn't expect all of this to happen when I first woke up today. You know, one tends to expect what's the word? A routine. Yeah, one tends to expect a routine. Sometimes. But I gotta tell you, compared to just being out there in the cages and having Maximilian yell at me, well, this is actually a pretty sweet deal. Now, uh, well, thank you all, really. It's been an honor, meeting all of you. Guess I better head to this place then. He's
Oh, one more second. I spin my brother around and I look through his armory of weapons. Do you have like any normal ass weapons that we could give him so he's not
What?
walking back to Astoria without one?
I'll hand
One
him
of the-
both my hand axes.
I'm like, my brother's just a whole ass fucking armory on his back.
Hold on, I'll
What do you
just
got?
put it back. Get some
What?
of these, get some of these, get some speed.
Got
And I'll
some
just
of
hand him
this.
my hand axes and say, here, take this. This should help you on your way back.
kind of looks down at the two hand axes. Looks at them. Tries to figure out how to strap them to his raggedy clothing. And
Naked.
he
Still naked, guys. Remember that.
he
I strip my brother of his of his cloak. I'm like, brother, we'll just buy you another one. I take up my brother's normal ass robe, like just normal adventuring cloak.
And then I'll say, here, also take this, and then I'll hand him a healing potion just in case.
I'll hand him over. I'll take almost everything out of my backpack.
okay.
Give him your
So
backpack.
I'm gonna take a second. I'm gonna clear out my backpack. I'm gonna be like, brother, I'm gonna shove a bunch of shit in your bag for right now. We'll buy another bag when we get into town.
Okay.
And then I'll hand my adventuring backpack over to the Minotaur. And inside of it, I still leave
Crackers.
some rations. I leave a bed scroll. My bedroll. I leave some candles in a tinder box, my rations, and my water skin.
These are a lot of gifts, lady. You sure I can have all of these?
Yeah, I mean, you're just going back to my hometown. I'll just get it back from you later.
Yeah. All right then. I guess I'll keep an eye on these. He kind of
I also hand him a hand crossbow and some axes just in case he needs to hunt like something.
I already gave him both my hand axes, but if we
Don't need
Oh,
four
I
hand
meant-
axes back.
I said hand crossbow. Sorry.
Oh, I heard axe, my bad.
He looks over at all of this. You can tell he has no real grasp
Tongue?
on how to use the crossbow.
I see his confused face and I take it from him. I was like, you see this string? You pull it back like this, and how it latched right there. Or you take one of these, and you're just gonna place it right here, and then you're just gonna aim and shoot, and then I shoot Derek with it. No, I'm just joking.
Cast touch crotchless hideous laughter.
Oh no, lady, that sounds like a bow with extra steps.
True.
That's all
I
it is.
actually feel like it's a little bit less extra steps because with the bow, you have to hold the string at all times, and with this, it kind of just latches into here, so you don't have to worry about taunting the bow yourself.
Or
I guess.
It can be useful if you want to shoot down some birds to maybe try and eat them or something.
I do like eating. I guess I can just give you like a bit of a close up to his artwork.
I was wondering how he looks like.
Bulldog is for a Minotaur. Has a slightly more like corpulent build, I guess.
So I don't have a backpack.
Very clear pot belly going on him.
Oh, he's cute.
A slightly shorter snout. Very actually well maintained horns. Seems to have like a perpetual smile on his face, and some very old looking like scars that you can tell have been there for years. He every time he opens his mouth, you can smell what could have probably been his previous meal. As keep in line with his, with his words, he seems to enjoy eating a lot. Uh, he he says, "All right then, I guess I better get going to this Astoria place." Uh, you see him begin to walk. Uh,
Can we walk with him out of town just so we make sure no one
you guys
snatches?
are out of town. You guys are outside the
Oh,
walls of Mitros. Just the immediate vicinity is the farmlands and the and the vineyards. You see
okay.
him walk east. Uh,
I'll just keep an eye on him for a little bit just to make sure he gets away from the city a little bit. But yeah, that sounds good.
Almost
so
gone.
eventually he just walks up further into the distance until he vanishes into the horizon.
Well,
Keep going, guys.
I guess back to the vineyard. Wonder what else is in store for us today. I felt like that was a bad omen. Started out this way.
Seems like
Out of Pumo
seems like
asking,
the Order of Sidon has a bigger influence than we thought.
What were you saying,
I
Derek?
told what I know I was late. Sorry, my car had issues. It's fixed now. There's some issues before I left the shop. That's all. What did we do? What did I miss? Did we talk to Tarin?
No,
Not yet.
Did we swindle?
that's not even on our today's goal.
We're not swindling money yet. Got it.
No,
Yet
we're doing the whine stuff. Remember?
then we swindle money. Got it.
Yeah.
So,
Got it.
you guys continue on your way around the farmland outskirts of Mitros. There isn't that big of a walk. There are a couple of like branching paths that lead you to other properties and the like. But there isn't really it's not really a complicated terrain for you to navigate. The you know the properties that are indeed the vineyards are pretty easy to spot. They this since it's mostly like a flat field, it more or less gives you a like wide view of everything here. Uh, you will see as what was your second name? Hey, that's for you to remember. Uh, it's more or less like a flat field that allows you to see most of the area here. Occasionally there will be a couple of hills that where the terrain kind of becomes a little bit more uneven, adding a slight I guess variation to the otherwise flat land that is the outskirts of Mitros. Plant life is very healthy. Every vineyard is lush. Every grassland around the properties is also green as can be. There is what you can tell a dozen or so of these farmlands here, both in the shape of vineyards as well as what I mentioned before, like animal farms and crops and the like. At first, you're not quite exactly sure of where to begin looking. But after around 10-20 minutes of walking around, you begin to notice that on one of the properties, there appears to be a wooded pass of sorts that is kind of flanked by two large marble statues that seem to resemble the shape of like water nymphs of sorts.
Oh boy, not again.
There is a strange, seemingly out of place, a foggy carpet around that specific pathway that leads past the two marble statues.
Oh, they're marble
Oh.
statues. They're not. Okay, never mind.
Just don't feel right, guys.
So wait, we see nymphs, water nymphs.
No, you see statues in the shape of water nymphs.
Oh, statues. Okay, thank you.
And the path that follows after those two statues that they are flanking is kind of blanketed by a clear,
Watery mist.
like a slight, yeah, like a foggy, carpet. Doesn't quite, you know, a little bit out of place compared to everything else around you guys.
Water nymph statues, foggy, mystic air, a carpet. Oh god, PTSD. And again, oh god, Derek's having PTSD again.
And this is a path that goes to the side of where we're headed.
Well, you guys, where you are right now, you're kind of in the middle of all the vineyards and farmlands. This pathway you see it goes a little bit off to the side. Is either leads to like a different property, but the way it's kind of structured, it seems to border with the more untamed, like natural outskirts of Mitros.
All right, what are
I
we
look
doing
at
here,
the
gang?
others and I'm like, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to?
Kind of tempted to explore it, but I don't know what you guys are thinking.
Derek's still huddling in a corner, thinking about the PSD.
Should we check it out?
I weigh the options in my head. We have
Should
to
we
come
have-
back this way. Let's check this out after the vineyard.
All right, sounds good.
The grapes fresh.
Okay, so where do you guys go?
I guess we're just gonna continue on towards the vineyard.
I mean, they're vineyards, plural.
Oh, sorry.
It's a,
Multiple
Uh,
fields.
yeah,
Multiple fields, guys.
like at least a dozen.
Oh, we're there. Never mind. Sorry,
There-
I'm blank.
like a dozen
Okay.
properties around, and a little less, a little under half of them are vineyards.
And then this is the only one that like looks different, right?
Well, no, this is a path that is built on the side of the road, towards
Separate.
towards the center of the general area.
Oh, okay.
Might as well go there, guys. You know I'm getting PTSD with damn carpet.
I wonder if one of these other wine vineyards are going to be what that divination prophecy told me this morning, and that they're one of the ones who hold a age-long grudge.
Yeah. Let's probably check out the other ones first, and then go back to this one.
We go to the other ones instead. That's our plan.
So, you guys go. You just randomly choose one of the other vineyards around here. You walk up to the edge of the property where you see a couple of the workers out there and about harvesting this season's grapes. None of them really make big note of your presence. They seem a little bit too focused on their jobs.
The other ones don't really have the other vineyards don't really have anything. Or sorry.
What are you asking?
So the other vineyards don't really have anything. They're just workers working. Or there's nobody. There's no.
I mean, unless you ask around, they're like the first things you would see are the fields and some of the work in some of these properties. Other vineyards look relatively empty looking. That isn't to say there isn't anything growing. It's just that in some of these there are no workers actively picking up the grapes.
Okay. Should we approach one of them and ask who or where the head honcho of the or one of them?
I can barely understand you, man. What are you trying to say?
No,
Sometimes he forgets to enunciate his words. He asked if we
if we
could find
check
someone
who's
who looks
in
like they
charge.
might be in charge.
Yeah.
You
Who's in charge here?
call out to one of the workers. They look over.
Yeah, I guess I'll just ask one of the workers.
They kind of look over at you, and they would say something along the lines of, "Well, oh shit, I didn't mean to place down a big ass token like that."
Damn, he's huge.
Huge,
Yeah.
giant.
He will gesture to like this house at the far end of the property, and says, "You're looking the boss. You might as well be looking over there." I'm not sure if there's a tasting tour going on today, but if you're looking to buy directly from the source, that's your best bet. I kind of gesture you to one of the houses at the far end.
And I'll thank him for that, and then I'll give him a couple silver pieces for helping me out, and then start heading that way.
You head off to this relatively, at a distance, humble-looking, property. There is, however, the closer you get, the more you realize that though rustic in its front, there is a noticeable investment, shall we say. Material, although it's mostly stone and wood, clearly carved out and handled in such a way to make for very decently fine craftsmanship. Uh, you will knock on the door. Uh, it is answered by a individual that seems to look a little bit up there in ages. An older gentleman seems to be kind of, seemingly on his reaching his twilight years, but clearly still able-bodied to a certain degree. The individual looks over at you guys and will say, "Yes, how can I help you?"
Why does he look like Willie Nelson? Uh, good morning, sir. We are here to investigate what has been going on with the winery lately.
Kind of looks around. Something's been going on with the winery? News to me.
Oops, my bad. Is this the guy that works for Tellus and Septia or the neighbor?
You don't know.
May I ask who you're working for?
Well, I
That's us.
think you might be confused here, young lady. I own this plot of land. Well, partially anyway.
Oh, my apologies. Um, we we were here looking for the winery that belongs to, Tellus and Septia of the
Well,
Church of Lutheria.
well, you technically found it, and that one, and that one, and that one. He kind of points at a couple around.
Notable. All right, thank you. And may I know your name, sir?
Ah, right. Uh, you may call me Sophocles. I technically own this here, terrain, but it's also partially under the name of the them two priests.
Oh, good to know. Um, might it be all right if we ask you a couple questions? Maybe you've seen some things that they have not?
You've already asked a couple. I don't see too much of an issue with you asking more.
Um, recently Do you know of anybody who might have like an age-old grudge against them and selling their own wine?
Well, I can think of people who might be displeased that although wine seems to be, owned under their brand, so to speak. But grudges? I can't think of anyone off the top of my head.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
Same here. Mother trucker.
It seems legit.
Great. Well, recently, quite recently actually, it seems that some of their wine shipments have been going missing.
Ah, so that's what's happening. I was beginning to wonder why they kept asking for more shipments even though we sent this week's already. So they've been going missing, huh? Well,
Yes.
it's quite unfortunate, really, but I'm afraid I'm not in the business of bounty hunting for potential highwaymen. I just do what I'm told. What I've been doing for the last couple of 10 years. Load up everything that we have, put into barrels, put into carts, send them off into the city. It's not even that long of a journey. I'm not sure how they can be possibly going missing.
Can I insight check that?
Sure. Again, seems legitimate.
Okay.
I'm gonna start heading towards one of the farms that he was saying was owned by the Church of Lutheria.
The way he worded that, it seems like both his and the other ones that he pointed out seem to be, owned by them.
So it's all basically okay.
It sounded like it sounded like he owned the land and they're paying him
Hold on,
taxes
I'll be
to
right back.
have wine fields.
So, yeah, like I said, he seems legit in what he's saying.
Okay, no worries. May I ask when your next shipment will be going into town?
Well, we already sent this week's. It's still going to be quite a bit before the next one goes out.
Would it be possible if we could send a fake shipment into town?
What are you trying to get at, lady?
Well, if there is news that another shipment is going into town and we hide ourselves in the transportation
Okay,
of what you
sorry, I'm
guys
back.
use to take it into town, maybe we'll get lucky and whoever is taking the wine will try and take this batch too.
So, you're hoping that it gets attacked again?
Well, I mean, it's a fast way of finding who's doing this.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Son of a bitch. Oh.
Let's go.
Looks at you and says, lady, I'm not going to put at risk the life of my workers.
We would be taking their spot in the shipment.
Also gonna pay for the cart?
Sure.
Kind of raises some.
Speaking of which, have you had no employees go missing then when these shipments go missing?
Well, that's the thing. When they come back, is they don't actually know what happened. According to them, they delivered the shipments just fine. But, well, if what you're saying is true and it turns out that they have been going missing, then there's some foul play here. If I find out that any of my workers are stealing from me, well, that's going to be quite of an issue.
May we also possibly question the people who took in this week's shipment?
If you can find them, sure.
find them? You don't know where your workers are?
Well, it's because they're taking the day off.
Huh. Huh.
So I kind of AFK'd for a second. Are we, so we're taking charge on the next shipment? Is that what it sounded like?
Oh, I thought your character walked off.
Or I was gonna, but,
When your character walked off, bro, you can't meta your way back into the conversation.
well, I mean, I was gonna walk off, but they said this was all owned by Lutheria, so it wouldn't really have made anything, but I had a AFK IRL for a second, so I kind of
Derek got an idea. What if
why I was
somebody...
asking.
Dang it. Derek got an idea. What if one of us poses as a new recruit on the delivery? Fake delivery.
Well, I think it would be best if we all were there in case something does happen, Derek, but also he doesn't have any shipments going out for a while, so...
Just say a special shipment from the church they need is ASAP.
That's a good call.
And
Maybe it would be possible because obviously it might be some of the workers in on it too, so we just gotta play careful. By chance, would it be possible for you to call back the workers who specifically did this week's shipment that was supposed to go to the Dragon's Lair?
Lady, you're asking a lot of things of me.
I mean, would you rather make money from selling wine or lose money from selling wine?
Like, here's the thing. I'm all down from catching whoever it is that is taking these shipments. But you haven't given me any guarantee that you're going to actually do it.
Actually, do what?
Catch whoever it is that's taking the shipments. Lady, keep up with the conversation.
Oh, you keep up with the conversation. Well, maybe you listen here.
Look, we
The
are
whole
the
reason
heroes.
why we're here
right?
is to capture the people who are taking the shipments. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, but you haven't even told me, like, besides putting a decoy, you haven't even told me, like, what are you gonna do when you find them or anything like that.
We're going to
Beat 'em up.
interrogate them, ask
Beat
them
'em
where
up.
it's gone to, why they're doing it.
Them up a bit,
The works.
Typical interrogation. Rough them up a bit. Make them spill the beans.
Kinda raise an eyebrow. Look, I can probably go out there and have the other ones bring in the people who did the shipment. Not sure how long that's gonna take though. But I can try.
Just grab some barrels and fill it up with water and seal them shut. They'll not know the difference.
It's heavy.
Not sure about you, but I think wine has a smell, water does not. Uh, Regardless.
And I have spells to make it smell like wine.
Regardless. So, if I got this correctly, you're going to try and do this decoy supply run while on the side I try and get the other workers back?
We are going to help you fill barrels, make them smell like wine, and get the shipment ready while you resummon the workers who did specifically this wine run this week. I don't know if you do more than wine run. I don't know if it's the same shipment.
Alright. So, are you doing this, like on behalf of the guard, or
Um, Definitely not the guard. We're doing this like for the Church of Lutheria and Tellus and Septia. We are even though it's a very complex story, sir. Um we're trying to give everybody that we meet the benefit of the doubt. that not everybody is a bad character.
Oh, man.
So we are helping them out. So that way your guys' wine business doesn't hinder the city.
Okay. Well, saying you guys is a bit of a generalization there, miss, but... Well... Alright, so what are you gonna do in the meantime that I get all of this nonsense set up?
Well, we're going to, like I said, you can point us in the direction of some barrels and we'll start filling them.
Is there a specific route they take all the way to the church, or is there just
You just take the
special?
you just take the main street and through the main gate.
Okay. Right, so
Pretty
sure,
straightforward.
kind of.
That's why I'm surprised that you were saying that some have gone missing.
All right. Well, while you summon the workers back, we can also check the route.
But I think about maybe they probably took a detours at some point, thinking that they went on making you think they went on the regular route.
We could go check out those nip statues that we've seen, see what those are about as well.
I'll have some of the workers start grabbing some of the barrels, and we'll, grab a cart, maybe a draft horse as well. Try and see if this plan of yours is going to work. Now, if you would excuse me.
Okay.
He kind of closes the door. Well, rather, he doesn't close the door. He steps outside, closes the door, and you see him walk in the direction of one of the little side sheds, almost warehouse-looking buildings adjacent to the main property. You have been seeing some people going in and out of that structure, over the course of this conversation, and he seems to go there and begin to address the workers. But by the time he actually begins to talk, he's a fair distance away that you can't really hear the conversation going down.
All right. Who's gonna fit in the box? Who can fit in the box? You, Porunga, can you fit in the box?
I don't think so, bro.
I'm gonna look at my group. I'm gonna look at the group and be like, Puruga, didn't we ask for Telos and Septia to send word here about what was gonna be happening today?
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I was confused as why he's acting like he
Maybe
didn't know who was supposed to be here.
maybe he's in on it.
Sus.
This
Yeah,
whole
definitely
situation is
scary.
sus.
Or maybe it's a trap, and they sent us here to do a trap. They're the bad guys. Like I've always known.
Yeah, Derek, I'm
Well,
6'2". I don't think I'm gonna fit in a barrel.
In the box, not the barrel. Wherever the hell it is.
Well, how big is this box?
I can fit in the box.
should we check the other building? The spooky one?
I'll also be able to message you guys if something happens, but obviously stay close.
Does anybody know a spell to make people smaller?
That would be the guy that's AFK.
Sad. Sad times.
For all purposes of the game, can we say Metius had some type of family business / emergency in town since he's from Vitros and he's just not with the party for a little bit?
I mean,
Or he could be studying up at the academy.
he's doing some stuff. I'll get, Metius eventually.
He's in the Minotaur market, gambling.
He has to attend.
Juno's so pissed.
He's doing this campaign's equivalent to dogfights.
So at this point, I do have to ask, what are you guys doing? Because it's gonna take a while for him to like set up the decoy rod and call for the workers, and all of that.
I think we should check out the spooky building.
Spooky.
Yeah, let's do it.
Should we have a couple of us going ahead invisible since Porunga can do that, make sure it's safe, and then have everybody else come later?
Yeah, sounds good. At a time or three at a time.
Possibly me and Porunga first, since I can take the most and put up a fight, and then if it's safe, we can have the others come with. That sound
Sounds
like a
good.
plan?
I'm sorry, what was that?
plan.
We're talking about going to a spooky building and thinking about having me and Porunga go in first, invisible, and check, make sure it's safe to go in. And then if it is, we'll have you guys come with. And
Sure.
then I'm saying
Let's go
have me go
investigate
first
this building.
because I can take a beating if it goes down more than the rest of the party.
We're outside. I tell Sandra, embrace the crown. Give it power.
Good guy, by the way.
Yeah, the greatest guy.
All right. So you guys go back down the road, and eventually, find yourself staring back at the two flanking nymph statues that lead on that sort of like strange, almost foresty road off somewhere that is blanketed with the little bit of mist. What do you guys do?
Did Porunga or is Porunga gonna turn us invisible first, or?
Yeah, I put my hand on his shoulder and cast invisibility at level 3, turning us both to invisible.
Okay. So give me one moment.
I will, right as they start to cast the spell, I will cast Aid.
All right. So, Porunga and Drakgar. As you kind of begin to walk along the wooded paths, your feet being covered by this small blanket of fog, you begin to notice that the ground of the pathway ahead of you that you're currently passing through is kind of carpeted by various leaves. There's wild rose bushes on each, on each side of the road. You walk for around a minute or so, and you hear noise ahead. Sounds like laughter at first, and that laughter seems to be accompanied by music, various instruments, uh, panpipes, harp. There, this combination of sounds seems to permeate whatever area lies ahead.
I'm gonna cover my ears and then look around, see like if there's like anybody or anything that's nearby that would.
I mean, I did say it was ahead.
Oh, it's ahead. Oh, we're not there yet. Okay, sorry.
Uh, so you kind of approach a little bit more cautiously. By the time you enter the clearing, when you're actually the place where you're actually hearing all of this from, there is a well, you take in the sight of a group of satyrs. They're all, kind of just lounging around, playing music, laughing. From time to time, you notice some of them kind of reach over to the side and drink from cups. Uh, Amongst the satyrs, there is one whose horns look a little bit more prominent than the rest. Uh, he's the one that has the harp on him. In fact, I'm gonna move you guys to the map of what you see. As soon as my computer stops lagging. Here we go. You see that the satyrs are currently gathered around two other figures of note. One of them, a woman whose skin and body seem to be made out of tree-like material. Bark, leaves, and the like permeate her figure. You run into this type of beings before in the mossy temple.
Oh.
This
Uh-oh.
this a
That doesn't mean they're evil, though, guys.
this a dryad.
Not again.
Other figure that is of note to you is a swirling mass. Seems to be flowing out of the small pond that this group of individuals are gathered around. That figure seems to look like a living mass of water. Uh, the individuals all kind of, are just generally being merry. More or less just living life to the fullest. Uh, the occasional, like I said, the occasional banter, laughter, music playing that they are engaging in uh, is from time to time interrupted by them drinking from those cups. You're not sure what substance it is that they're drinking, but at some point, one of the other satyrs seems to kind of just look at his cup, move it around as if he had just run out of whatever substance it is that they're drinking, and he looks over to the other one, and you guys don't speak Sylvan, but they seem to be speaking in, well, a whatever language seems to be native to them. And as he finishes saying that and gesturing to the other satyr nods along, kind of stretches an arm to catch the cup in his hand, while the other one still clutches the harp. He moves over to the side of the pond and moves a bunch of leaves and plants and shrubbery around until he uncovers what appears to be a very large amount of barrels. He dips the cup in one of them, that is already like cracked open on the top, and when he retrieves the hand from the cup in the hand from the barrel, for a moment you see this reddish, maroonish substance kind of pour from the cup. Clearly wine. The individual then passes over the cups to the satyrs, and then continues sitting down and plays the harp.
Do we notice them chat? Oh, no, wait, never mind. Okay, so
You spying
We,
on them.
we saw all of that happen, right?
Yeah.
I'll
Okay, so I whispered to Drag and say, "Hey, that might be the missing whine that we've been looking for."
That's what I'm thinking. Should we go back to them and let them know what we found out?
Yeah, I think we should let the others know to see what plan of action we will do.
Yeah, we'll do. I guess we'll head back.
Wonder if I could talk to these people. They are my people, by the way.
We don't
Yeah,
know
Okay.
we don't know
anything
what
yet
they're
or not,
saying.
but
So
There's satyrs. I am a satyr. I could
yeah,
probably speak their language.
I'm talking to Drac. Like we won't be able to communicate with them anyway. So it's better that we go back.
yeah. So
So,
I guess we'll just
Could do
start
that.
heading.
Do that after a break.
yeah, with that, we will take a break and we'll come back to this.
Haha. Get cucked.
All right. So we're back. Drakgar, Porunga. You guys went back to the rest of your crew at the beginning of the area. Just a question: how long does invisibility last, Porunga?
An hour.
An hour. All right. In that case, you will still be invisible when you return. So the rest of your team will probably only hear your footsteps approach, but they won't see you there. So what do you guys do when you return to your crew?
All right. So I'll say we're back. We found there's some satyrs there, and then a water creature. Might be an elemental or something. One of them was carrying a harp. I'm guessing it might be controlling the water creature. But we did find a bunch of barrels with what looked like the wine that's missing.
There's also a dryad.
Yeah, that too.
Did they seem like they had any hostile intent?
Uh,
We couldn't understand what they were saying. They were speaking some other language.
they just looked like they were vibing and enjoying the wine. They didn't really look too threatening.
Derek, you could possibly speak with them, right?
Yes, yes, I can. If they're satyrs, I am very special at it because guess what? I am a satyr, a very, 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 very old one.
Do you have like a special language?
Yes, it's called speaking. Yes,
I
I
roll
know.
my
I
eyes,
speak satyr. God dang it.
even though he can't see it.
Well, I
Yes,
guess
I
we could
speak
send
satyr. Gosh.
Pumo in as a
Bing bong bong.
negotiator.
Yes,
So I guess
I'm
we'll
very, I am very
stay in.
proficient at negotiation, guys. Don't worry.
Right. All right. So Derek's gonna go visible, and then we're gonna stay invisible. Is that the plan?
You two stay invisible. Derek's gonna go in non-invisible.
And then the rest are gonna stay back then.
The rest of us will sneak in and stay slightly farther behind, I guess.
Okay, that sounds like a plan to me.
Well, gonna be a little bit hard to sneak in because it is a single path that leads to this place.
I will begrudgingly reach out and cast Sanctuary on Derek.
All right. So you guys go back through the pathway. Those of you who are sneaking, I'm gonna need a stealth check from.
Or
I'm just walking in there.
Uh, place yourselves towards this end of the map.
The negotiator. Here he comes.
I'm scared.
Prepare your weapons at least, just in case.
I can't really take my weapon out without showing myself, but
prepare your
Is my
weapons.
are
I
my
said,
is my
goddammit.
okay, I guess if they're considered visible.
Just so you who are invisible can do the stealth check at advantage.
Okay. Oh, we still have to do the stealth check.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just walking in there normally, right? I'm not involved in stealth.
I mean,
Yeah, you're just walking in there normally.
Dab.
you still have to do the stealth check because, well, you are invisible, not unhearable. So they're still
Boo.
like hear you coming through. Especially because
Oh,
I mentioned there's like dead leaves on the ground, meaning that your footsteps might have done a bit of sound on the way here.
deception check. Got it. Kidding, stealth. Of course. Voted. Greatest stealther.
Wait, hold on. I thought you were just walking out in the open, Derek.
That's why I said. That's why. Do I need to still roll stealth? I said I'm still walking in the open.
I mean,
They're gonna see me anyway.
typically said anybody who is stealthing.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Never mind. Forget that. Cancel mine.
Okay. So,
I can my footsteps just be really quiet as I walk up to them, so you won't notice until last second.
you know,
Why would you?
there will be, like I mentioned, there's like dead leaves and the like on the way here. So, your footsteps make a crunching sound as you approach. Oh, is Juno here?
If you're here, your mic's muted.
Actually, I need to make a stealth check.
Oh shoot, sorry, I am.
Are you also are you also stealthing?
Yeah.
Okay, well, make me a stealth check.
You guys
Sorry.
remember if
I
the
pulled
fight
up,
starts,
my
just
roll 20's lagging.
remember if a break starts fighting, just beeline for the whine and the scram.
Did that go through?
Yes, I'm just checking.
So you're saying you're
An
gonna take one for
18.
the team, Derek?
I'm gonna negotiate the release of the barrels. Free, by the way.
All right, so you all walk up. Some of you invisible, some of you just hanging back a little bit. Uh, Derek, you walk out in the open. You will see as before you actually get that close, you will see as the satyrs kind of look over in your direction, kind of, you know, bump each other's shoulder, as if saying, "Hey, look over there." And you will see as they all kind of look at each other, the dryad who is still sort of like just lounging there nearby the pond looks over at you, and then the last one to turn around is the satyr leader, the one who seems to have like bigger horns than everybody else. Uh, kind of does like a gesture to the other satyrs, I'm like, oh, ooh, chill, chill, don't do anything, and then looks over at you and says, I'm sorry, this is a bit of a private event. I think you might be lost, friend.
Private, huh? I thought there'd be more ladies here. Sorry, just to the one lady. It's only here. If it's a party, then you should have more than one.
I'm
Uh,
sure if I like,
besides that,
I'm not sure if I like the idea of you walking up and just questioning our vibe like this.
I'm not questioning the vibe. I just want to see and enjoy the wine. I noticed the big old barrels of wine in the corner over there.
Ah, well, I'm afraid like I said, this was a private event. Anything I can help you with? If not, then, well, I might just want to turn around.
I don't know what. Since I was here, might as well ask. Since I am here, what's that in the water? Is that a elemental or something? I'm always curious since I passed by.
That's a,
Might
fr-
as well ask.
that's a friend of ours. Met him a while ago. Or her, or them. Not sure, never asked. But they've been pretty helpful so far. Now, what to you?
It was like I also came past an elemental too. Very nice person, fire elemental. helped us out as well, me and my group. Except I'm pretty much by myself right now. Y'all ditched me. Y'all ditched me for something. Happens though.
Can't imagine why.
No, I know, right? I don't see it either. Man, I would definitely go for a wine right now. Jesus Christ, this makes me very sad.
Mm, that is pretty sad. So,
Uh,
you didn't answer my question. You have any business with us?
yes. What do you say cheers like you do in here in the middle of the woods?
Uh, answer my question.
Did with another question.
Oh my god.
All right, you're kind of cramping the vibe here. You're not gonna speak seriously? Yeah, we're just gonna have to ask you to leave.
All right, I'll leave. And since you tell me why you stole those wine caskets,
Toll? Listen to this one. That's a bold accusation.
bold. There's been a couple recent reports of missing wine barrels going missing from delivery and people not remembering why they were missing.
Oh,
And
now I
put
get
the two
it.
together.
Now you get it. You're working for those two brats, aren't you?
No. I hate those to the core of my heart. I'm against Poseidon. I'm against the church. I'm the reason why this land is free.
Listen to this one. Has a high opinion of himself.
Of course, I am Dirk. Say that as I am Derek Lenius of the Dragonlords.
Who?
Oh god.
Ugh.
Who,
I am,
of course, you.
I am being serious. I don't recall any stories of a satyr being part of the Dragonlords.
Of,
Ooh.
of course, you wouldn't know. You weren't born yet, little
Dude, I'm
one.
fucking eating popcorn right now.
I'm sorry, young one. You're still too young to understand what we did back in the days for you. For
Oh
us,
my
as you
god.
can see, the Titans were once ruthless here in this continent, and we, the Dragonlords, abolished most of the Titans, the ones that escaped.
No,
I was trapped by Versailles.
no. I'm going to have to doubt your story, friend. But what I will say is that you're making a mistake siding with those two, Trellis and Septia. This barrels, this wine business doesn't belong to them.
How? How so? Hmm?
Well,
Telling me that your stolen barrels do not belong to them?
uh,
How so?
again, not stolen, repossessed. You see, years and years ago, I did a deal with their families, with all the wine merchants, really. And for that, I have to was to be compensated. I will admit, I may have been a little bit vague on the initial agreement on payment, but, well, this vineyards have remained very much dutiful to that deal until then. Now, I'm merely taking what's supposed to be ours by right of that deal and agreement. The fact they have forgotten to pay due tribute to me, well, that's their loss. I'm merely taking what is supposed to be mine by right.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Eh,
Huh.
honestly,
But think about it.
those two are kind of idiots if you ask me.
Oh, I know, right?
Dropping their business for serving their little goddess. Lutheria will have their souls as punishment.
I know, man. They're crazy thinking the church and everything else is gonna help them or anything. I laugh at them in secrecy every time I visit them. What's the point? I will never understand what those mortals are thinking. Those people. You
So,
make excellent points here.
so there you have it. Now, I don't know if you were here because you were told that they wanted us dead, or if they just wanted you to look into the whole matter. But I'm
It's
looking.
mostly
What were you
my
saying?
bad. Mostly I mostly took a look into the matter, see where they're going, peek around, walk around, and I stumbled to you guys. Like, oh, that's probably them. Oh, it's people, huh? And to walk around and see what's up, what's going on.
Well, now you know. And
Excellent.
now you should probably pretend that you didn't see any of this. Or, hmm, I was going to suggest an alternative, but you don't look too tough. I don't know if you'll be up for the matter.
Like I said, I'm directly into the Dragonlords. I am plenty tough.
That means nothing to us. Again, we've stuck around for quite a while, like I mentioned. In case you can't tell, I'm also pretty old. And,
Oh,
well,
how old are you, young one?
like I said, I haven't heard any stories of one such as you. I feel like something like that would have at least made it into, word of mouth amongst my kind.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure my buddies forgot about me just because they got mad I disappeared because I got kidnapped by a Versailles of Sidon's daughter, and stuck in a bubble like your elemental buddy. It was not. I mean, it was pleasant at some points, but being drowned for a couple years, it's not fun. For
Well,
prison and such.
you keep addressing to yourself with such a high title. In that case, let me introduce myself. The name's Vorius of the Four Winds.
Oh, hello, Boris of the Four Winds.
How you spell his name?
Thank you.
How do you do, Boris of the Four Winds?
Now, Derek, was it?
Yes, Derek.
Well, you claim to have been with a group that left you behind. I can only theorize as to why, but, well, seeing as we're sent on this little errand by Trellis and Septia, like I said, my advice, pretend you didn't see any of this. Go back to them, just tell them that their wine shipments are gone. Or better yet, don't tell them anything. Or, even double better, tell them they should probably remember those oaths that their families did mine.
Hmm. All right. I mean, yeah. I mean, of all does make sense about what the families and they keep forgetting. This does make sense. Okay. Hey, how's at least the wine tasting since? Oh,
Tastes as good as wine can taste. As to be expected. After all, it was my kind that enchanted these fields to make sure that everything grew accordingly. Now,
I didn't I could do that.
Derek, you've asked a lot of questions. Now it's time I ask you some of mine.
Oh, go.
So you claim to have been one of the Dragonlords, so to speak. Now, if that's really the case, why did you happen to side with some who would, well, better see our kind with a sword to their throat rather than, well, alive?
There was a couple people who weren't very how can I say in not light or dark terms not fond of us, of course. Two of them especially, they were brothers. I'm sure you know the names of those legendary two. I'm not gonna say that what they did was right, but for when we were doing the wars, there were a couple statures that did side with Siren and the other titans. So you know how war is. There was casualties on both sides. I did not like it,
Oh,
but
oh, don't
the
get,
great of this continent, we had to do what we must do.
oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not on anyone's side. It is how it is. That's just the way nature runs its course. Rain falls, the wind blows, and the strong prey upon the weak. So I just wanted to know what the reason was, if you had any. And your response was exactly what I expected.
War, it's It's all about war, man. It's all about war and the right for this continent.
Now, other question. I find it really hard to believe that Turles and Septa would confide this task to a single person. There is more of you, isn't it? You lied to me when you said they ditched you.
Well, they ditched me, all right. They started laughing at me when they thought I was gonna go over here. Yeah, I'll just walk over here like, ha ha ha, like you're gonna find anything over here. Can't deceptions that could deceive him or something?
You can try, but
Alright, let me
he's already suspicious of you.
deception anyway. Make it feel there's deception. Where's deception? My bad. I'm taking forever to do this. Be easy. Oh, nat 20.
Hmm.
Believes it.
Maybe you might be right, but that still doesn't quite sit well.
I understand. The most of the time they'd rather not be around me, which I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I'm still the famous Dragonlord of ancient, you know.
Come up with
But
a couple of responses to that question, but I'm not going to entertain them.
I'm just saying, that's who I am. I know who I am. Of course, if you don't believe me, it's understandable. I've been gone for 500 years. It's fine.
Know who you are? I'm not sure,
Uh,
Derek. I've met many people who can't tell left from right, so I tend to approach everybody with a grain of salt.
yeah. I show him the crown to maybe tell him the truth.
You can show him the crown. He will look at it and say, "Fancy headpiece. What does it do?"
Bonds with my dragon. I don't know where it was at this point. I don't know where it's at.
He looks around. I don't see any dragons here, unless you're talking about the ones that the king has in his backyard.
I start laughing. You call those dragons? You call those dragons?
I mean, they fly,
No.
they have metallic scales, and they breathe various elements. So yeah, I think they qualify for dragons.
Okay, I get you what you're trying to say, yeah. But they're what the dragons, what they call them. There's no doubt that our dragons from back in the days are way better than these. Just saying. I got the chance to fly with Balmithria, okay? I know what a real dragon looks like.
No,
Those are puny.
you got to fly on the back of the legendary Volmitria.
That's because I picked up her poop. Picked up its poop. It was one of the handlers.
Oh my god.
It's not a fun time.
I'm starting to believe you're lying to me, Derek.
Hate lying because I'm the one that did it. All right, I can still smell that goddamn waste. All right.
I'm starting to believe that you're not being entirely honest with me, Derek. I do,
I'm starting to think you don't believe me,
I do feel genuinely insulted. I'm not going to lie. Not only
and I feel
that,
and I feel insulted. You think I'm insulted?
not only that, but you also just kind of came in here, barging into our place, asking all sorts of questions, accusing us of stealing things. You gotta say, Derek, not a good look for you. But,
Uh,
but, I can think of a way you can make it up to me.
how so?
Well, you see, at this point, I'm more or less giving up hope that Trails and Septi are going to be, well, doing what I want them to do. As in, honoring the deal that I made with their families ages ago. Right? Now, I think that you know them. I know them. We know who they are. We know what they are. They they're cultists. They praise the death goddess. They probably have even like a couple of people chained up in their basement for all we know.
Probably, yeah.
Now, wouldn't you say that it might be better if somebody else was to take over the Avengers for them?
Not a bad idea. I'm following you here. I'm following you here.
Now, you look like a knowledgeable guy. So I really don't need to spell this out. I know they may have asked you to kill me, or even worse, take me to them for some form of conversion. But I
No,
think
I wouldn't. I would never do that. No, no, no. I said, I dislike that church. I 100% do not agree what they're preaching at all.
all right, so we're on the
This
same
at
page then.
this point, maybe me and you could just burn it down. Who knows?
Well,
Accident, you know.
a little bit excessive.
Excessive, you know what? I'm sure. Look,
Also
what
too
they're doing to
flashy.
you as well is bad. Okay.
And also too flashy. I was thinking more a little bit more low key. If you were to just, he kind of does like the thumb around the throat, gesture. Because
Hmm,
let's be honest, they're probably not good people. There's probably going
yeah.
to be better runner-ups to inherit their little properties in the vineyards. People who may actually give a damn about agreements done with their families.
All right. All right.
So, do we have a deal, Derek?
And said here, I said we have a deal.
If not, then you can just turn around and be on your way. We won't even harm you.
Still wonder how that one would taste like. All right, we do have a deal.
All right. Well, in that case, get to it. I shall be waiting here. I'll even throw you a bone and say that if you bring me their heads or their bodies or whatever, uh, you can have this little harp of mine.
Ooh.
What's doing?
Hmm.
Do we notice
Interesting
what
of
the
the
harp
harp.
is?
Is that special or something for you?
It is very special.
Hmm. All right. I'll get to it then.
Do we recognize the harp? If
I mean, you've never seen like
no, never seen anything.
there's like a harp, I
Oh,
guess.
it's just a regular harp. It's not okay.
There's no like visual indicator that there's anything crazy. Well, I guess the one thing you would notice is that the frame of the harp has like this sort of like carved patterns of like swirls, kind of like wind of sorts.
When? Huh.
Now,
As I leave, oh man, I gotta go.
where were we? It kind of turns around to the rest of the satyrs and they begin to resume their music.
Alright, guys, that's the best information you can get. I'm sure your guys' ears are bleeding, but still, it's the best I can do.
I would assume you would have that conversation after you get out of the glade where these
course.
are at.
Go to Nick. I already walked away.
As soon as
Alright.
we're out of the glade, I'm gonna send Sophocles a message and be like, "Never mind, we found out who stole the wine. Don't worry
Top.
about it." But I have a question for you. Be right
I
there.
do. I do nothing. Guys. Did everything correct.
Mm,
I want the harp. I want the harp. We should kill him for the harp.
you would get a very confused response from Sophocles back, kind of going like, "Are you all right? Uh, I guess you can find me back at the property."
Guys, let's go back and meet Sophocles really quickly.
Look to my dragon. My pet dragon. Apparently, since someone believes I have a dragon. Sad. It's okay, buddy. I love you. He's like, what? Guys, I can kill anything. Alright, guys. I want that harp. We should go and kill him for it. Just
Derek.
saying.
Good guy, by the way.
That's the best I can do, okay? I got
We
information.
don't kill people.
Oh, I'm not gonna kill no one. We're just gonna make sure we fake it. That's all.
No.
And what? At least we know what they're.
Jesus.
At least we know what they're doing with the wine. They're drinking it.
Carl, we don't eat humans, Carl.
Look, I did my best. Okay, this is what you want. You got your answers. Might have been something.
Exactly. So why are you talking about killing people? Jesus Christ.
I want that harp. I want that harp.
You're not getting it.
Yes.
I mean,
We're
Someone's
already
gonna die.
creating you a weapon, bro.
Want another one.
I mean, if he wants to
Greedy.
5v1 them, he can
If this
feel
guy
free
gets
to.
this guy gets 10 javelins, why can't I have a second harp or another harp? Huh?
Greedy.
Like, look, this guy's
I
greedy
mean,
too.
if you want to go take him on, you can take him on.
Go for it. Nobody's gonna help you. You know
For
where
all
they're
they know,
at.
we're not. Yeah, we're already gone, right? Isn't that what you told them?
So when we get back to the plantation, ignoring our power hungry, greedy, apparently good guy, but not really good guy,
Great,
Derek.
great guy,
Literally,
Derek.
like
What do you
any
mean, great guy?
event or conversation that happens, he's like, "I'm the bad guy. I'm the
I'm
bad
the
guy."
great guy. No, I'm the
We
great
asked,
guy.
"Are
Right.
you the
He
good?
was
Are
like,
you?"
he's like, I freed this city. But low key, you did not free this city. You just helped a tyrant become the king of the city. So like, what?
Actually, I didn't help. I helped create the city. I didn't help set up the king system. Okay, help create this
I'm a
city, sir.
Isn't
Dragonlord.
the
I'm a
current
Dragonlord.
king
No, you're
like
not.
the?
I'm the Dragonlord master. Okay, I pick up their poop, and it's fact.
Anyway,
Oh lordy!
Y'all don't know I picked up the dragon's poop, huh? Exactly.
the rest of everybody, what are you guys doing?
I go back to talk to Sophocles.
Same here.
Y'all go back to our property. He kind of walks out of the little like large warehouse kind of looking building on the side and looks over at you and says, "All right, you better have a damn good explanation for for all of this. You said you figured out who stole it.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, well, let's hear it."
Okay. Is there a Satyr family that once also used to be a part of this wine industry?
Kind of thinks for a moment. Hmm, like right now, I don't think so. The
No. Previously. And they gave their wine to Tellus and Septia.
Their families. I'm pretty sure talking about descendants beforehand.
uh,
First settlers maybe of this place.
I've been alive for quite some time, but I'm only a human. I can't remember if there was actually any. I mean, there's like stories, I guess, legends of how these fields came to be, how a large group of nature spirits raised them in honor of the goddess Mitros. But those are just stories.
Oh, no, I don't think so either.
What are
I
those
think they're
stories?
just
May you tell us them?
Just like I just said, is when the city was being formed, this legend of nature spirits showing up and racing this, well, not really racing these fields, but rather, altering the land so that they, would be bountiful.
makes sense.
And
That
that's
guy is
why everybody made their farmlands here. That's how it's always been. But again, those are just stories. I'm not sure if there's, I haven't really seen or heard anything that is like proved those are right.
Well,
Mm.
according to the Satyr, um, his family,
Boris the Satyr.
Boris the Satyr's family, entered a contract with Tellus and Septia's family, and they never held up their end of the contract. So they took a little bit of wine.
Well, for the sound of
It,
it, it's more than just a little bit.
I counted maybe like 7-8 barrels. At least that much.
Okay, you did see like a bunch of barrels. I only had like a couple of them with the visual indicator. Uh,
There's a couple there. Plus or minus 2.
what were we saying next, Henry?
um, so we were curious if you knew anything about how Tellus and Septia came into owning this land before I call them here and asking them themselves?
Well, as far as I'm aware, they inherited from their relatives. They well, it's been mostly just two like big families that have owned segments of this land. Well, three technically, but one of them moved on to other things. And then Walterless and Septia came along, and well, they claimed to be the heirs of this land, and they, from what I heard, everything seemed legitimate, so they now own most of these vineyards.
You know anything about the third family?
Oh, they were the Nurdigons,
Oh, no.
but they moved on
Nerd.
the merchant industry rather than farming.
Oh,
Oh.
got it.
Ah. Nerd dragons.
But that was ages ago. I'm not sure.
Me. Never mind, go.
I'm not sure if they have anything to do with this at this point.
Well, so we're gonna talk to them eventually. As maybe another road trip back into the city, maybe.
All right. I send a message to Septia. Septia, tell us, please come to the wine yard. We have to discuss some things we know about your business things.
Who did you send this to specifically?
Septia.
She will answer back. Apologies, we cannot leave the temple at the moment. We are attending important matters. Would it be possible for you to meet us here?
Hmm.
I can't send another one.
That's we've only had Metius, the other man who writes paper.
They are unable to come here. So I guess we will go to them.
Is that what
We need to find out a little bit more about how they acquired this business. Part of me thinks we need to go back and talk to the Satyr first. Somebody who can actually talk about current situations and not keep bringing up the past. Like asking them what exactly was promised to them. Did they make any documentation? Who originally signed these papers for the deed to the land? You know, things of importance and relevance.
Still want to visit my good old friend's young descendant. Seems like we eventually have to get there.
They're speaking Sylvan, right?
Yeah.
Satyr.
No, it's Sylvan. Sylvan is
Sylvan Satyr. Sylvan Satyr. Same thing.
No.
I could speak Sylvan.
Sylvan is just the general language of most Fey creatures. Satyrs don't have like
I guess we could head back. I'll talk to them.
So satyrs don't have like their unique language.
We got a wisp. We got a wisp. We got wisps.
So you're going back to Vorius.
How do you spell his name?
I typed it in the chat a moment ago.
Or ease.
Oh, I see it now. Boreas.
Boris. Or ease.
You're going back to Vorius, is that right?
Well,
Okay.
we're gonna end up going to the church. We're passing them on the way to the church, right?
In a sense, yeah.
So yeah, might as well.
As Sophocles will say, well, whatever it seems like is happening here, it seems you're about to hear the cusp or something. Hope everything goes well. And so, turn to the glade.
We're all coming together. All right. I got embarrassed myself the first time. All coming with me. Yep. Get online.
Does this time everybody turn visible or just?
Everybody turn visible. God damn it. Oh,
Not
Porunga, you
the
turn visible. Porunga, get over here. I'm gonna scream your name, Porunga. Exactly. Now you're not visible no more.
I'll stay invisible
in here.
with Porunga.
Drakgar, get over here. Now you're not visible
Eric,
no more.
shut up.
Mhm.
I made a fool of myself last time.
Oh, you're back, Derek, and you brought a friend.
Friend.
Good evening.
Yes, this is one of my teammates that I told you about.
Eric, shut up.
Well,
You're an
Man.
embarrassment.
Well, it was really quick. Did you manage to Turtles and Septia in that quick? I would have
We're
hoped.
about to head over there, maybe.
Um, he kind of filled us in on what happened, but I just wanted to ask a couple questions before we go confront Tellus and Septia.
Questions, questions, questions. What is it with you people?
No,
Well,
right? It's
his
mostly her.
questions came with a bunch of blah blah blah. It was so important in the past that like it really just got lost in the story.
Oh, it's true though.
All right, make them quick. This wine's about is starting to taste sour.
Um, you stated that your family made a contract, or it sounded like he stated you guys made a contract with Tellus and Septia for the wine fields.
Not with them specifically, with their families, their ancestors. Made an oath, and they were supposed to uphold their end of the oath.
And what was this oath, may I ask?
Well, to put it in simple terms, the oath was, well, just about compensation. My kind, my people, they made it so that the land can flourish, so they can farm whatever it is they needed to farm, harvest whatever it is they needed to harvest, and in return, we were to be given a certain payment. Again, the terms of the payment were a little bit vague, but at least a couple of casks per month would have done the fine.
And you see my character furiously like jotting this out on paper really quickly.
Oh, God.
Now, before you ask, I know Trellis and Septi, or at least know enough of them to know that they would rather be dead than uphold the end of a bargain with someone they consider to be less than them.
That is true.
Do not worry about them. I will talk to them. Um,
Now, does that do it for your questions?
actually, that was a very good thing. I do have to ask though. So I know oaths can't be broken, right? This is out of game.
They can be broken.
They can't?
They can.
Can.
Oh, can. Okay.
Come on, you guys
Thing is,
been asking
What?
me the
depending on the nature of the oath, some are stronger, more strongly bound than others.
May
suck with
I
me,
ask,
haha.
um, what was negotiated if the terms of the oath were broken?
Kinda looks over and says, well, if the terms of the oath were to be broken, then we were free to make our way with what is the due payment.
Makes sense. Come on.
All right, thank you. And
Don't tell me you have one more. Look,
to help
I
take
already
this oath?
told you. I already told you and your friend how things are.
Oh, he's not my friend.
And my patience is starting to run thin a little bit here.
He talks, bro. Don't worry about it.
Now,
Well, look at it this way. Do you want wine payments to actually be paid for you?
I don't give a shit. Whether it be wine or blood, I want some compensation.
Well, I am trying to get you compensation. So if you could just answer the questions, then I will work on making sure you guys do get your monthly compensation or not.
Go get your weapons ready, just in case.
Look, what is this oh so important question?
Go get your weapons ready, goddammit.
Wait, DM, you confuse me. What do you mean?
He asked, "What is this important question?" But like in a clearly like upset tone, as if he's really getting tired of all of this.
Well, if we can make a new oath contract and make sure that they are signed properly to where you guys do continue to receive your monthly shipment of wine for flourishing the land,
Si-
and Septia and Tellus get to keep their land in good condition.
Signed. Were you born yesterday? That's not how oaths work in Tylea.
Just a no. Don't worry about it, buddy.
Correct. I understand that, but it would also be nice if it was documented. What if you pass away? Then anybody who comes after you will no longer have proof.
See, we are very traditional people. We pass down our stories the same way that we pass down our oaths, through telling. I don't know if you notice, but us satyrs, we are pretty good at weaving stories and making them stick to people.
Yep. Yes, we are.
Already a lot of people out there that know of this. And even if I was to die, there's at least, well, I can't even count on any of my fingers how many people that I have told this story to.
Oh no.
All right, well, we're gonna go talk to Tellus and Septia
Oh wait,
now.
no,
Enjoy
never mind.
your
Look,
stolen.
I don't want another oath. I just want this one to be upheld. And if they refuse to do that, well, fuck him, right?
We'll see. Talk to you guys
All right.
shortly.
Let's go, guys.
Finally, they're gone.
I sneeze and cast Prestidigitate on his wine and make it smell like poop.
Well, he would only say that when you guys are actually gone.
Oh! You hear from like.
I mean, are you like actually doing that?
Only if I heard him. I have a 16 passive perception.
All right. Uh,
Right now we go to that church thing.
now you guys are going. In that case, you guys go all the way back to the Church of Lutheria. Nothing,
Celsius, that's place of Celsius.
nothing much of note happens on the way there. It's just, you know, you guys, walking through the streets, going, making your way through the uh, narrow streets of Stygian Row until you reach the Temple of Lutheria. Give me one moment, because my computer is still lagging. Gonna move you guys to the temple map in a moment. Same thing would happen when you guys arrive. One of the cultists would just open the temple doors for you, lead you inside, have you meet with Trellis and Septia within the main hall of the temple.
Glorious. How nice to see you again.
He's been following you guys the whole time. It's just I haven't been role playing him as often.
Sausage.
He's just vibing.
Quite the whole time. You could have helped me kill him. Said.
No, you placed yourself on top of Trellis and Septia there, Alexander.
Oh, calm down, calm down,
He's
calm
not
down,
there for
Xandria.
me.
Can you guys not see them on screen?
Okay,
I can
See
see
them right
they're
here.
right in
Trellis.
See.
front of me. They're right
I
in
know
front of me.
Septia is supposed to be next to him, but she's not there.
You
Wham.
might need to reload because she is there for everybody else.
You know,
I
I'm
see
on top of
Trellis, but
her.
not Septia.
Again, you may need to reload.
Everybody sees Septia?
Yep.
Yep.
Skill issue.
So you're led back, like I said, you're led inside the temple by the what's it called? By the cultists, and Septi and Trellis will look at you guys. Trellis will say, "You're back and in good condition. Have you found the sources of our grievances?"
Yeah.
"Well, where are they?"
Back enjoying the wine.
"That isn't what we agreed upon."
Well, that's why we're here to talk. So it seems that your ancestors once made a deal with some fae to help flourish the lands so that you guys may harvest your fields. And a part of this oath was that you guys would give them payment in forms of whatever you guys nourish on the field. And it seems that since you and Tellus have taken over, this oath has not been upheld. So they decided to take it upon themselves to take what they found necessarily theirs.
Payment. The oath.
Yeah, rakes an eyebrow and says, "And you believe them?"
I'm sorry, what was that?
"And you
You
believe
said
them?"
and you
Big, very obvious points, though. You were here before you guys did flourish the fields. You guys did, family did take over the fields and put two together. Then they have more of a case against you.
"So you choose to believe these bandits?" "Hmm, I
We're
Oh, they
not
haven't.
bandits.
They have stolen
Oh,
property. By definition, that makes them, well, thieves, bandits."
It's not necessarily stolen if it's owed to them.
"And you believe what they say is true?"
Well, the stories go that long ago your ancestors did acquire the lands through means of some fae folks coming and flourishing your fields.
are you guys saying you guys made these fields flourish yourselves? And the fates had nothing to do with it?
"I assure you that the efforts that are those who work the fields have done wonders for the land. I struggle to believe you can attribute all of that to just a bit of magic."
Nah. I mean, look, you see this right next to us. It is a dragon from some place. I am a person stuck in a water bubble for 500 years. You don't think magic has a place anywhere, including fields?
I never, for once, doubted the capabilities of magic. I myself am a very proficient wizard, says Septia.
Good to know.
Trellus says, "But I am, well, questioning the wisdom that lies in just outright believing these claims without any clear evidence to support them."
Little green thumb. Who knows? Maybe you're right. Maybe the greatest little green thumb your ancestors had everything to do with the land, the fields, and not the fae.
I do find it disappointing, however. Well, this is quite the debacle. It seems we're in an impasse. I am not of the mind of just simply surrendering goods to those who just took them for them as if they belonged to them.
What if they took away the magic that helped flourish your fields?
If such magic even does exist. Now,
Point at myself and Porunga still.
now, listen. I appreciate you looking into these matters, but it's clear you have no intention of actually following through in our request.
Hmm.
Take over
So,
from here, I suppose.
What do we do, guys? Huddle up with you guys. What are we gonna do?
Out of game, I actually don't know.
We can either A, take the barrels back, B, and make sure the oath goes through. Loris, keep an eye on that guy into the corner of the room.
being a
Actually, no, wait, that can't be good in this setting.
Somebody cast fireball,
I
quick!
don't. So
Outside of game, if we drink from the horn of Demetria with a specific request of knowing how the fields came to be, could we see into the past, or does it only show the future?
Hey, I don't know.
Hold up,
wanna
guys,
try it?
hold up. If we do this, we gotta make sure at least one of us drinks it, not all of us. Protect the person drinking it. We'll be zoned out for a moment.
So like if me and Septia went on a trip while drinking from the horn and everybody else stood still watching, could we ask the horn if they could show us how the wine fields came to be?
I wouldn't trust those two, but I think maybe we should drink from it and
Well,
see.
Septia would need to go with us.
I guess. I don't know. I just don't trust them.
Well, of course, that's why I said me and her. You guys would not be under the influence.
Alright, so we protect two who will be drinking from the horn. Correct? You're gonna need Juno for this. Backup, of course. Still there.
Hey, Septia.
The Turles and Septi have been, having sort of like a whisper conversation between them. Perhaps discussing what their next course of action should be.
You could stop asking your guards to protect us. If you want to fight, we'll fight you. Because that's what this is looking like. Or you could just listen.
They kind of like, seemingly look back at you. Septia says, listen, we only want what is best for both the church, our business, and this city. And the way it sounds like, if there's someone who's trying to take advantage of a centuries old agreement that we didn't agree upon, I don't find that entirely fair. I'm certain you're quite familiar with the weight that age-long oaths tend to carry in these lands. The same way that the oath of peace has prevented the gods from acting against the titans and vice versa. The same way that the Minotaurs are treated in the marketplace due to centuries-old rivalry. From the sound of your stories, you were all for getting rid of the past, or at the very least, not following mistakes. How can you say that, and then also force us to engage in an agreement that we had no part in?
Don't put words in my mouth. I wasn't trying to force anyone to do anything. We are doing what is called investigation work. and getting all sides of the puzzle pieces because we don't like to act rashly and convict and judge and condemn people who are actually not in the wrong.
Then who is in the wrong?
Right now, your ancestors and their ancestors.
So why should we and our business suffer for their actions?
Because it was their businesses in the beginning.
But
Tell me that they're
but it
So
is no longer. We are, what's the expression? The new guard, so to speak.
it's still your family. Your family took it on. Your family made this contract with them, this oath. Your family passed on or moved on. I'm not quite sure. Either way, I do apologize. But that doesn't mean that that's no longer your responsibility.
So let me ask you this, and then Trills kinda interrupts. Let me ask you this. If ages ago your lineage had made a deal to, say, slay each and every one of the followers of the five gods, would you be forced to carry that on? I know it's an extreme example, but I'm following your line of thinking, as in carrying on old agreements.
No, which is exactly what I'm saying here. It is up to you to sit and talk to them and figure out how to move forward.
If what you say is true, then these individuals who have taken the wine are just leisurely hanging around in the nearby vicinities.
that may or not be true, correct?
We already have a good enough, I would imagine it is already a good enough deal for them to be able to live there freely. They need not take from us.
I don't think they live there.
I have a friend of an elemental there. Don't know what he does. It looks pretty cool, but other than
Sometimes,
that,
Derek, I wish you would just bite off your tongue.
Now's the time to be giving them info about their situation.
Elementals with them?
God damn it.
one could say yes. Could
Barn!
it be Earth? Maybe. Could it be fire? Maybe. Could it be
Eric,
Jesus
nature?
Eric, shut
Maybe.
up. Eric, shut up.
Christ.
Shut up.
Literally,
Shut
he
up. Shut
works
up.
in.
Shut up.
There's no way he's never not broken our contract. Like, why does he never get reprimanded?
I pick up Derek and I move him out of this building.
Kinda, Trellis and Septia look at each other and they're like, well, Trellis will say, it seems they might be a bit more of a threat than we initially anticipated. If they have access to,
Which is why we didn't fight them.
if they have access to elementals. All the more reason to make a preemptive strike.
God damn it, Derek.
Or reason to negotiate.
Kinda looking at you guys, Septia will say, look, if I can be 100% frank with all of you, it sounds to me like this individual, if even you claim that you opted not to fight him because he has access to such power as in making contracts with the elementals, then in our ears, in our minds, he sounds like a threat. Should we refuse this deal of his, who is it to say that he will not just send out his elemental minions to, well, hurt not just the fields themselves, but also the people who work in them?
That's why we would be there.
Then why
Who's gonna make the wine that they want to drink?
then why didn't you, in that
Derek
case,
shouldn't.
deal with them?
Because that's not what we are. We're not murderers. We don't just kill people without getting the facts.
We told you to bring them in alive, however.
Technically do that, but again,
That would have ended a fight.
Get up, stand behind Drake.
yeah. My brain's hurting. Don't worry, too.
I do not mean to question your methods, but this sounds incredibly naive.
No, what this sounds like is that you wanted us to just kill them and get rid of your issues instead of talking it out like people who own a business.
Literally just said that we wanted them alive.
And I just told you, having them come here would have resulted in a massive fight.
I'm certain once they see the truth before their eyes, they would not put up any form of resistance.
Hmm.
Man. To do what to do.
This is getting us nowhere.
X.
Just a bit.
I whispered to them and saying, dude, what the hell are we gonna do? Either fight these people or fight them. What's gonna happen?
And we're not
I
fighting
don't think
anyone
we
here.
should.
Oh,
Well,
look,
you guys
they're
don't
on-
want to see the reason, they don't want to see the reason. We'll at least tell you where they are located, and you can do with that knowledge what you wish.
Septia
Uh,
let's kind of take like almost in unison, take like a hand to pinch the bridge of their nose. You see as they kind of look at each other. Trella says, "I knew we should have handled this ourselves." Uh, well, I suppose there's no point in that worrying about that now. Quite right. Well, I suppose there is still one thing left to do before we go off and try to deal with uh, whoever it is that is taking our wine. We must make preparations for the ritual. Yes, I haven't forgotten that. Of all days,
wait, what about the?
of all
Wait, sorry.
days, this had to happen.
Wait,
Kind of goes back, and you see him like grab a couple of sensors.
sound like you're marking
what are you
it
doing?
up.
Get back here, girl. Get back. Oh my god. Need Juno. Where's Juno?
They both of them kind of go back and begin arranging like sensors, incense, and the like. I believe that's be all for all of you.
All right.
What are they doing?
Leaving.
I heard something about a ritual, and it sounded like
Leaving.
he cut off.
All leaving, guys. I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing.
I mean, I did. You said that he went back and started grabbing like sensors, incense, and the like, almost as if they are getting ready for some form of daily like prayer ceremony. And after a bit of just kind of arranging, those like the incense sensor, Septia says, "Trellis, we forgot something very important." Right. We don't have enough. Well, I think we can think of a way to make up for it.
I don't trust this.
Oh my god, we should have just left when we had
We
two
should
guys. Oh my, we
probably.
should have just left. Should have just left.
I mean,
Sep-
if it comes to it,
Septia turns around and says, "Right, there is one thing you can assist us in before you go." You see all of the black-robed cultists kind of click something in the windows, and there's a like a veil of energy that recovers this entire building. You can't just join us for a ritual, or ceremony, shall we say. All you
I think we should pass on that.
all you need to do is simply stand there. And I'm gonna need Drakgar, Xandri, Porunga, Derek to to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Guys, you should have just left when we had a chance. What did you guys even do? Stepping forward? What the heck?
They wouldn't have let us leave. There's 2 guards at the door, bro.
Oh, just drag our rush the door. Come on, Drakgar, easy.
As we're gonna be rolling initiative, but combat shall happen in the
Next
next
time.
session.
Guys, we should have just left when we had a chance. God
Well,
damn.
at least we gotta take down the Cult of Lutheria now.
Oh, we the blue man still not here. I want him dead first. Blue man guy. I don't like blue man guy.
I had a refresh.
Dexterity save, correct? He said.
Juno's still here, right?
He's just AFK.
He's just been.
Oh yeah.
There's a max muted.
A dexterity save 20. Easy dodge.
Did you AFK, Mitch?
I Discord messaged him. He dozed off. He said.
No, I'm here. I just have to stay muted because I have background noise.
We need you, man. We need you to fight just in case. And guess what? It is.
Well, that's
E10.
for close.
Oh,
Relish is gonna die.
This is
She's
one-
gonna die.
Is this where Derek finally dies?
no, because you're gonna die with me. You're dying with me. Metius, can you please come, sir? He's just walking around the corner. Oh, look, a church. Go in here.
Well, I'm not letting my teammates die.
Guys, you want me to die first?
I'm not gonna let my teammates die.
You're lying out of your mouth right now.
I'm not gonna let my teammates die.
You think I'm not a teammate? You're lying. Thank you, Juno. Thank you.
I didn't say that out loud.
But yeah, man.
Ah, 6. Son of a bitch.
Hey man, you should have known that they were planning something.
That's what I thought. And these people still want to stay in the church.
Hey, I mean, if we
Goddamn.
could take, if this is our chance to take down the Cult of Lutheria, you know.
And get a harp for free, guys. Look at that.
Yep. Look, we get that harp anyways, boy.
Fine. I called dibs. I even promised him. It's my.
So
Next
Tina's gonna
time.
attack before me. Septia is gonna attack before me.
No one shots. Juno, I want you to crit strike somebody, please.
That will be that for this session. I'm gonna roll initiative for the for the cultists later on when my computer isn't like it. Hey y'all. They didn't quite like what they heard from you guys. And also they really want that horn. So, it was
That's what I thought. I knew they wanted a horn.
it was
I
bound
knew it.
It was bound
Too bad that I'm the only one who knows who has it.
No, he does. He's in the Minotaur strip club. What do you mean?
Fucking hey man, it being you guys, there was one encounter that was gonna happen today. It was either gonna be Boreas or this, guys. Yeah.
Hey, I'd
It's
rather
not
take
the
on these guys. If
I'd
we're
rather
being
take on
honest.
these guys.
Look, I want to kill the blue guy. That's all I want. I want
I'm
to
not
kill the
gonna
blue
lie.
guy.
I was kind of thinking about. I kind of like some of the stuff that's kind of side with
Orson.
Boreas more.
So did I.
That's why I promised them heads. Come on. That's why I
Weren't you
said
trying to
that-
kill? Weren't you trying to kill Boreas a second ago?
He was.
But I wanted the harp because you guys said no, we're not killing. Even though the church wants to kill us already.
Yeah. Well, they can try. But all I'm saying is, we're just gonna throw hands and.
ESPN says no.
But sometimes there's people you can't reason with.
Well,
These
I mean,
people here.
if emo death cult doesn't want to negotiate.
But hey,
I said,
I respect the hustle of trying to negotiate with everybody. Just some
yes.
people are very dead set on a particular goal.
Some people can't be.
Same
I thought we were too passive here. I'm sorry, we were just too passive.
Same how you guys are dead set on looking for a brighter tomorrow. There's some people who just want to see the world burn.
We were
Derek.
too passive, Pumo. There was
Oh,
a
Derek.
point to it.
I know it's a point to, but I was like, oh my god, I could state the obvious, and Dirk could easily
Hey,
say it.
bro,
That was
they
trying
have
to
an
say everything.
elemental. Oh my gosh, they're a threat. We should go attack them.
See, the thing is, though, I spoke to the Boreas the exact same way, and he didn't result to violence. So therefore, he was not the one to fight.
Yes, he wanted his brain to explode at this from all the questions you've asked him.
At least he didn't.
Whereas asking them and questioning them the same way, they weren't willing to budge, and they are dead set on a ritual with the satyrs to finish whatever their ritual is. So therefore, they are the hostile ones.
Cat's worm.
But hey, we'll resolve this next session. Oh shit, I didn't stop the recording.
It's fine. It's fine. It's good to have a little commentary at the end.
But for those of you who are watching this on YouTube, please continue watching. Next session we start right off the gate with an encounter against the Cult of Lutheria, Septia and their posse of cultists are gonna try their best to take down the party.
I got dibs on Septia.
Whether they succeed or not, well,
No, I'm going for that bitch first.
whether they succeed or not, well, that will be left to be said. Regardless of which side succeeds, I'm certain the next session will be a little bit packed with a little bit more action than the last few.
Fireball.
In,
Fireball. Somebody fireball.
I'm not gonna tell you all the DC. You're just gonna have to live with that dread until next week.
Fireball. Somebody, please.
So
No matter what, you failed it, Derek.
I'll be
What, did he
fine.
not want it?
Well,
He got a 10.
no, he got a 10 initiative. He
Oh.
A 6.
he got a 20 on the dex save.
Bro, what do you know what you're talking about? Too good.
But with that being said, I'm gonna stop the recording in a moment. Yeah, everybody just was watching this on YouTube. Please continue watching every view.
Oh, it was Drak that got a 9.
And well, with
I
that,
can take it.
we shall see y'all next session. Stop.
Well.